I got a guy so mad at me last night. Okay, because I wasn't supposed to work today.
Because you gaslit him and told him that something was.
No, I went out last night and they were just playing like songs off of the bartender's phone. And she's like, Joey, what do you want to hear? And they were playing the Eagles. And I was like, anything but the fucking Eagles.
Not gonna
All
make many
right.
friends like that.
And I know, and it's a room full of dudes 50 plus.
That's
And
their
Losing
demographic.
battle for sure.
yeah, and she goes, "What's wrong with the Eagles?" I was like, "What do they do? They suck. They're middle of the road garbage. There's no good guitar. There's no good like." And I was like, "Okay, give me one. Give me your favorite song." And she's like, "I don't know, Hotel California." And I go, "What's it about?" And this guy interrupts and he goes, "It's literally about death." And I went, "Well, it's metaphorically about death, but nice try." That dude probably should have climbed over the bar and hit me the way he looked. The look on his face when I was like, "It's not literally about anything. It's gobbledygook that we've all like internalized as a good poem." Oh, he was so mad, and I earned his anger. I will tell you that because I was just so done with having to listen to the Eagles for
Yeah.
more than 3 minutes. All right, welcome.
It's like the 7-minute cold intro that
Yeah.
Nate needs to keep in. The peak. Our podcast has peaked before it started.
That's rude.
Oh.
All right, well, all right. Bring
Par for the course.
Honk, honk. Honk, honk.
Welcome to episode 315 of Unpaid and Underrated Podcast, a podcast by crew, for crew, mocked by crew, and sometimes farted on by crew. I am joined.
The chair.
It was the chair. I'm joined by Big Keith over here,
Howdy, howdy.
and across the way is Big Dan Eager.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going all right. I like the red beard look.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
I
that's-
tried to match the shirt.
That's a good one. Oh, that's a good shirt. We'll get to that in
It
a second,
is.
I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not drinking anything special. I just had a
Same.
bunch of water, so I'm not going to skip that unless, Dan, you got something really cool.
On your NA kick from maybe like a month or two ago, I've been drinking some Athletics. Their IPAs are pretty good. They taste close to the regular thing.
Mm.
I like
Like
them a lot.
So it's like a non-alcoholic, like an impersonating like a seltzer, or is it like
No,
a
it's a
it's an
beer.
extra. Okay, so it's
beer.
it's a in a. Okay, I got you.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep. Yeah, I enjoy them.
I can't imagine, no offense to anybody,
Mm-hmm.
seeking out the flavor of IPA and not getting a buzz. Like,
That's fair. I mean, I get it.
I'm going to let a grapefruit fart on my tongue, but I'm not going to get anything out of it.
Yeah, I mean, I think depending on like the hops that they're brewed with, though,
Yeah, I know.
you get some good flavors, but
I know,
yeah,
I'm just messing.
I hope it's
No.
better. I hope it's better macros though, right? Because I know like IPAs are notorious like 1,000 calories or some shit,
yeah.
right? So
These are
like,
65 calories.
okay, so that's
Yeah.
basically like drinking a slightly elevated sparkling water.
Yeah, I think this brand particularly was created by a bunch of guys that were like big on like trail running out on the West Coast, and they wanted to like run like 10 miles up a trail on a mountain and then like slam a couple beers with the boys and not be buzzed from it on the run back down. So
Makes sense.
yeah, it's good instead of the regular beers, particularly like leading up to a comp when I got to do cuts and stuff.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fair.
Then you
Because
still
it's
get,
a
like,
lot of sugar. Alcohol is just a ton of
Mhm.
sugar. Yep.
Yeah, holds water weight like crazy that way. Yeah. Yep.
Not that I would know anything about that. All right. I'm wearing my Arnold sweater because it's cold as hell in my house. Like unreasonably cold, or I'm dying. Both can be true at the same time too. But under it, I have my Lift Hard, Live Easy 2 shirt.
I was gonna ask you if you had anything underneath that crew.
Yeah. No, this isn't a crew. This is a hoodie.
Okay.
This is a coat.
Has to have something underneath it then.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a
Um,
coat.
I'm rocking the old Barbell Rescue T-shirt, code unpaid. Saw Big Kim got an MRI this week. Hopefully, get some of his back pain sorted out, buddy. We are rooting for you.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm wearing the unpaid and underrated tee.
That's a beautiful one.
Yeah,
I'm
inner
glad-
circle.
Thank you.
Glad you finally got that ordered, buddy. It's a good one.
Yeah. It's I don't have a whole lot of stuff. apparel wise. I'm sure we'll get to that eventually, but
Oh yeah, we'll
yeah,
dive right in.
gotta support the boys.
We gotta wait till we get the guest on the horn before we really kind of dive into their backstory. It's just
Yeah,
the
would be a
old.
shame to cut them off early.
Anybody have a chance to listen to last week's episode with
Oh yeah.
who was that?
Mm-hmm.
Big Nicholas Camby, who
Mm-hmm,
I
mm-hmm.
I think I'll kick it off. I had a few things I enjoyed. The thumbnail was great because I guess it had both. It had his his current face and then more of like a competition face with a full beard. Like he was unrecognizable from one to one. Like that was wild to me. It wasn't someone I was familiar with or followed up until basically
Mm-hmm.
I knew they were going to get him on. So I've been catching up on who he is and all that. I think my favorite part of the episode itself was at the end where Nicholas had some questions for them, and it kind of took them both off guard. And I was like, "Huh, that
Yeah.
seems like a familiar podcast trend that I'm familiar with." So I enjoyed
Mm-hmm,
that.
mm-hmm.
So
And then,
is Nicholas listening to Unpaid and Underrated?
I mean, who isn't? And then I think I think he made fun of Greg Doucette a little bit too. So for all
He
those
did too.
for
Yeah, it's enormous.
yeah, for all those reasons, I'll go ahead and give it 5 out of 5 Mount Rushmores.
Mm.
Did he finish the first Mount Rushmore, or did they just like talk
They-
about the alien and then move on?
Yeah, because wasn't it Mount Rushmore of like events or strongman? I
Yeah,
think
it was.
a-
What's your Mount Rushmore of strongman? Then he went off about the aliens. They went
Yeah.
off about something else. I actually don't remember them finishing the Mount
It's
Rushmore.
true.
Borderline political, had to stop it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Oh, because then
Yeah.
oh no, because they when he mentioned Kaz, then they went on the whole 100-foot person Kaz story, and then
Mhm.
that segued into like other conspiracy theories. I think.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Yeah,
what
good
what about
fun.
you, Dan? How'd you like it?
I got to listen to it. It was great. I like Nick Camby a lot. I followed him for a while, being a fan of strongman and weight class strongman. He's one of the, I think, more interesting guys in the like open pro scene right now. He's one of the few guys that have seemingly made a successful transition from weight class to open. So fun hearing him just goof around with the boys a little bit. And yeah, he was pretty good on the podcast. I feel like that's not surprising though, because he has his own that he does with other competitors in the strongman scene pretty regularly. So it was good. Yeah, so I think I'd give it a 5 out of 5 wiener dogs.
Dachshunds. Yeah, what a weird way to say that. Definitely love the episode. I too laughed out loud at the Greg Doucette. Like it was like Nick knew, right? So he must be following or something. Like he's got to be listening to the podcast because he got the vibe pretty much immediately. I want to reiterate what somebody said in the Discord. Whenever they do we used to be a proper country, calibrated plates. And when one, I think it was Tommy, was like, now they're using the bathrooms. And it was just so funny. Like, it was just so good. I laughed out loud at that.
Yeah.
Great episode. I'm going to give that 5 out of 5 Paul Dwyers.
Oh yeah, they did bring up that guy.
That guy. It's like,
Well, no, it was funny. Like
I love that guy.
Like I feel like Nick should listen, but like they mentioned like 4 people they've had on the podcast in the last.
Yeah.
And he was like, "You had them on the podcast." I'm like, "Nick, have you ever listened to a fucking like? You're not overly familiar with their backlog, are you, Nick?" It's like every time they mention someone, he was like,
There's a lot of backlog though.
That's true. That's
It's
true.
impossible to get through the backlog. Everybody knows that.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I finished it a couple years ago, but all right.
Did you though?
So one of us had to.
I'm working on it.
Just made myself
I got
snort.
like 100 more episodes and then I get my jacket.
I was well. Speaking of awards, basically the one thing that could get me the jacket before him is if I win this March Madness bracket that they put together. There's a Massonomic sponsor. I think there's about 60 of us. I think it was 69. I don't know if it went up or down from that because I don't think some people
I
might
think it
not
should be
have.
capped at 69.
I think I saw something that it got up to 75, but 6
Okay.
were incomplete, giving it 69 eligible.
Oh yeah, because
brackets.
I was gonna bust
Nice.
Chris's. I saw that somehow like 4 or 5 games into it, Chris was 0. So I don't know if that's because he didn't actually do his bracket or he picked poorly. So that makes sense if some people didn't actually fill out their bracket. But anyway, so that
You
is.
feeling good about your chances then, Keith?
Oh God, no. Maybe to like be in the top 3 of New York competitors, but I don't know about like finishing. No, I think I'm already in like the bottom like quarter. So no, and it's like once you're behind the 8 ball that far, like you almost have to be like. I also, in my defense, I haven't.
Oh,
played
is it already started? I didn't even know.
Yeah, no.
I care so little about college basketball.
Yeah, no. There's like multiple games underway and have already happened.
Dang.
But anyway, so that is happening. So someone will get a award check mark for
Mhm.
winning this bracket. So that's a relevant story.
Hopefully it goes to someone new
Yeah.
that doesn't
Yeah.
have one.
Yeah, that would be helpful to that person.
Or it'd be extra hilarious if it went to somebody that already does.
Yeah.
Yep. Say, oh, I already have that check mark.
Mhm.
Sorry, everybody else. Like
Oh, yeah,
that
and
would
they
be
got-
really funny.
The
Yeah,
most elusive check mark of all.
because there definitely wasn't like a pre like a pre conversation of going like it'll be an award for the highest finishing non-award having crew. It's so I
Mhm.
mean so that actually like statistically makes it even harder, like because I mean there's probably at least 10 people that are
Mhm.
playing that have already gotten awards of some sort, so we'll see how that shakes out.
Yeah, that's not funny.
We can probably talk about it more next week because that'll be what the whole podcast is about. But like,
Yep.
obviously, everyone saw the Massonomics South Carolina trip. I listened to
Mhm.
the majority of the live last night, so they've got a whole lot of backstory on that. But it'll be more relevant next week probably. But everything I saw on Instagram looked like they had a blast. I'm very excited for all the upcoming YouTube videos, and we'll probably end up talking about those all once we actually see them. So I mean, I don't know unless anyone else saw anything. Oh, the Tanner the Tanner interview meme that kind of took off. That was
Oh
actually
yeah, that was
that's
so much fun.
good.
Evil Tanner.
yeah, evil. Yeah, I was kind of think what we coined that, and they just went in so many different directions. And then there was like and then his shorts couldn't have been any goddamn shorter, and that was just made it.
Yep.
Yeah, you guys were hanging out down there in a lot of those.
At least what I put us in there today, yeah. But
Mhm.
somebody inevitably put me in every other damn shot right in his crotch. So that was Um, I got a funny story real quick. So I got a meet coming up in a couple weeks, and I'm really particular about my chalk, and I've been like out of.
Mhm.
So I like spider chalk. Spider chalk is amazing. It's like
The
I
best.
I describe it as like it's a moist chalk, if you will. Like it doesn't wipe. It's like if you have it on your hands, you can actually like put your wrist straps on and your belt on, and it's not going to immediately fall off like just 90% of the
Mm.
other chalks out there. Because like I think I only had one block, and I think it ended up going out to the garage last year. So the block I have in the basement right now is just a shitty, like, Gronk Fitness, whatever I can get on Amazon for like
Mhm.
$2 from like
Yeah.
10 years ago. So I think I'm gonna end up throwing all that out and buying. So I actually even told Stephanie, I was like, oh, I really need to get some spider chalk. I got this meet coming up, and I want to like
Mhm.
take good chalk to the meet and stuff. And that night she ordered it without telling me, and then the next day I ordered it on Amazon. So now I've got two like $20 bricks of like fancy nice chalk coming, and it makes me
That'll last you
chuckle.
for like 3 years.
Yeah, and it's just awesome that like it makes me feel happy that I have someone that actually listens when I talk
Yeah.
sometimes. And like it wasn't that she just put it on a wish list to buy for me for my birthday in a few months. It
Mhm.
was just like I'm just going to order this without telling him, and it's going to show up, and it's going to be like, here you like so I don't know, that made me
Yeah.
chuckle.
I don't. I find it wild, but I mean it does make sense that people have preferred chalk.
Mm.
Because I've literally just got like this Chinese made garbage that I use the block and I paint, right? Because everybody's
Mhm.
got different, like they crumble
Yep.
it and they do that, or
Yeah,
and
I like to paint.
yeah, I
Mhm.
do too. But I also have bone dust, and I think bone dust is what you're describing, that kind of
Hmm.
moisture chalk, where like you
Mhm.
put it on and it doesn't get everywhere. I also used to use liquid chalk,
Mhm.
but like I didn't like the time in between putting it on and then waiting for it to dry. I didn't like that.
Yeah.
But that was
Takes a bit.
that was honestly my favorite chalk was the liquid chalk.
If you get a chance to try the spider
It's
chalk,
pretty awesome.
you should do it. I used to not have a preferred brand either until I tried that, and
I
I
was just
won't
gonna say
buy
that, yeah.
anything else. Yeah.
Yep,
Well, the problem is I have an entire box of this terrible Amazon stuff and a bag of bone dust because I actually don't use chalk that often. And if I do, I'm not like a whole like hand chalk. I'm just like, well, if I'm deadlifting, I'm just gonna put it on the parts that touch the barbell.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
am an overuser, so the spider chalk is good because the block lasts forever.
Yeah, I definitely am not like a whole like Tommy throw chalk all over me before I go type of person.
Well, like I forgot how good it was because I had just been using the shit chalk in the basement the
Mhm.
last like 4 months, and the other block had been in the garage, and it just like subconsciously hadn't really thought about it. And then I was
Yeah.
out in the garage 2 or 3 nights ago doing like a like an RP7 log lift, and I put some chalk on. I was like, oh my God, I forgot
Hmm.
how amazing this feels in my hand and how it doesn't fall off. And so yeah,
Yeah.
anyway, but
It works a lot better too when you're putting it on like your shirt for strongman events.
oh yeah,
That
yeah, I
is a
could see
lot
that.
better than regular chalk.
I could see that. Anybody have a chance to watch the YouTube video that came out today with Darko and Tommy?
I skimmed through it.
Yeah, yeah. And is there going to be a vulture was it Vultra added to the Dan's basement gym anytime soon?
I don't think so, man. I mean, I've seen so many videos of those and like they're cool, but they're so expensive. And
Yeah,
also I'm like, I don't know, what are they, like 2 grand?
they're like 2,500 like to get fully outfitted. I think with like like
You
all the
could buy
attachments.
like six specialty bars and like a set of
Yeah,
kilo plates for that
it's
much if you wanted
it's
to.
kind of it'd be really cool if it was like $400 and like
Yeah,
at that I would have to consider it. Like it'd have to be less than like what a premium barbell cost or equivalent to it.
yeah. I think that's like one of the things that people like overspend on though. Like I have like one of those cheapo like three like pulley location like
Hmm.
plate loaded ones in my basement, and I mean it sucks, but like you can still work with it. It's
Yeah.
I don't see why I would need to spend I don't know 40 times the amount that I spent to get that off marketplace.
But it
But
was
does it fit under the bed?
it would. It was very small. And it is
Ultra
cool.
wood,
I always like when Tommy gets in front of the camera a
yeah,
little bit more too, because he has such a little different dynamic than it's just a different dynamic that they produce with Tanner behind the camera. So
yeah.
uh,
Yeah,
uh,
Tommy behind that seems a bit more feasible than me, given that he's already past the reps at this point.
well, yeah. Now he's got all this. He's gonna make all these huge profits selling off his old stuff. I saw he finally
Yeah,
posted the stuff in Discord, and I
yeah.
will give Ryan his credit. And like I don't think anyone else enjoyed his joke or got it, but he asked.
It
So
was good.
Tommy's selling a pair of 1 inch Gugnir loadable dumbbells that
Mhm.
have the what is the word there?
Integrated.
Integrated collars. And then Ryan was like, "Did these come with collars?" Like knowing so
It
so I got a kick out of that immensely. So well done, Ryan.
was a good one.
The last thing in general topics that I saw of note was I don't even think he announced it, but he created a calendar, you know, date thing for a trip they're doing out in Ohio on May 3rd. And it's basically a call to arms for anybody in the Ohio area that has a gym. So they have a couple set up already to do like a gym tour, and they're trying to maximize crew gym tours in Ohio, which
Nice.
it seems kind of vague. Ohio is I don't know, I think it is. It may or may not be larger than New York State.
Hmm.
I'm sure we've covered that on this podcast at some point, but I don't really listen to what anybody else says except myself. So I am not going to remember
It's
what who.
basically local for them though, since it's in the Midwest,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
it should
yeah. I
be a quick
mean,
Yeah.
trip.
yeah. But I mean, that would be cool to see. I mean, I could think of like five or
Hmm.
six guys off the top of my head that I know have gyms there. So
Hmm.
that'll be cool.
I just can't imagine going to Ohio on purpose. That's not for the Arnold.
Fair,
Maybe that's just me.
I couldn't wait to get out of there. That's for sure. It was a
I ain't
nice
saying
drive.
much. Yeah.
It's like, sorry, Nate. I'm just gonna speed past you there in Akron. I gotta go home.
Yeah. Definitely liked my time there, but the rear view
Next,
mirror was its best view.
it's like I'll catch you next. We'll catch you next year, bud.
All right.
Dan, did you see anything in general topics this week that we missed, bud? Anything in the Massonomics world? I know you're a big social media guy.
um, yeah, huge social media guy.
Just
I think
just got you to reactivate your Instagram account a couple months ago.
yep,
So I mean, I'm sure
yep, yep.
you're really big into that.
I'm slow on the following the Massonomics Instagram just because I'm slow on Instagram anyways. But I did see I forget who it was. Maybe it was like today or yesterday. Someone had a theory on the April 1st drop being
Oh,
horse skull mat coasters
yeah, I
potentially.
did enjoy that. That was fair. Or I could see
Uh,
that, or like I think that was maybe the same thread, or like an insert for your drink spotter. But
yeah,
that'd be challenging because there's just fucking like three different size drink spotters. So
yeah, yeah. I feel like that's less likely.
yeah, a coaster would be pretty funny, and it would be like low effort. I mean, it's just a matter of
Mm-hmm.
having someone like laser. I wonder if I bet they did. Like that would be if they did do that. Like
Could laser
logistically,
the Massonomics logo on there. Yeah,
you would just tell. There's a couple people that either Dean or someone like an executive fit, someone that has a way to like mill a full stall mat with like some kind of laser or like a
Hmm.
really fine tooth saw and go through it.
Hmm.
Um, and then because a 4x6 mat you could get into like at least 100 little like 2x2 pieces. You think so?
I enjoy that you both laughed and nobody knows why.
You made fun of my air quotes, I think.
Lasers. No, it's from Austin Powers, you freaking
Oh
idiot.
yeah, the
Lasers.
lasers on the dolphin's head or
Yeah. And then we're gonna arm fit it with lasers.
I think
Anyway.
I think somehow I didn't get. I knew there was going to be a drop, but like I went over my head that it was a April Fool's drop, an April 1st drop. So
I
until
think
someone,
I think the fools are gonna be the people that don't get in on it.
yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I don't see why they would be faking that because it's a drop on a Tuesday. I think is April 1st,
Yeah.
and it's always Thursdays, right?
Yeah, just historically, at least as of my memory.
Well, I'll play Tanner here. Don't worry about our drop. Just make sure you get in on it.
Yep.
Mm.
All right. Do you have an ad read for us, Dan?
Yeah, I do. Here, let me get my notes out. Sorry, I'm continuing the Joey trend of being sick almost every week too.
That's the
You were-
spirit.
you were
One of us
literally-
has to do it.
I was
Yeah.
debating on being able to try to meet up with you tomorrow if I ended up not going to work, but not if you're sick. No, thank you.
I'm just coughing. I'm not really that sick.
You're sick every
Yet.
time I see you. The first time I met you in person, I thought you had like the plague at Static Monsters. You were literally like there was like just snot coming down your nose the whole time.
Some
and
dude
I was
just
like,
died
this guy
of the
is so
plague.
sick.
Some dude has the plague right now.
That's
Like he
wild.
just died. I don't know where it was. Morgan was telling me about it.
Heck.
Yeah.
Ad read. Okay, here we go. Are you someone who likes to kick back, relax, and have the wool in your hair? Do you like 30-minute long home gym tour videos for spaces that are only 150 square feet? Do you hate having to wait 30 to 70 minutes for self-indulgent Midwestern podcast hosts to finally get to the title topic? They really need timestamps for that. If so, then join the Massonomics supporting membership as a crew member so you can consume all the extra content the Discord provides.
Even dropped the consume in there. I appreciate that.
I love it.
If you gotta consume it.
I bet you do, Keith. All right, let's kick out all these looky-loos.
Do we have anybody this week? Oh no,
There's hundreds.
that's true.
And
Gotta,
let's
gotta
get
make
on.
sure we gotta report them for all the violations that.
Yeah. Can
That'd
you
be funny if
believe,
Tommy if he like accidentally does that one time and like screws someone over on Zoom or something.
especially if it's us and we use this to record, like
That'd be bad.
maybe that's why I don't join the live streams. We'll pretend that's, I can't risk Tommy ruining this podcast. All right, let's get our guest on the horn. Big Dan, is that you?
It is.
Yeah, welcome to Unpaid and Underrated. We're going to dive right in. We don't want to miss any gold, which is actually funnier to me now that I'm recording everything. So tell us about yourself. What brought you to Massonomics?
Yeah, let's see. I'm Dan. I'm from the very vast state of New York, right in the middle. I think I'm the only person in crew that's in like the Syracuse area. Everyone else is like in Rochester or towards like the capital region or New York City. And I think I was doing some digging back on the podcast history of what I had listened to, and I think that I started listening back in like November of 2020. So I guess it's like 4 and a bit years at this point. So been listening for a while, and I think I started listening to it. I was listening to Ron's episode from last week, and he sounded like he found it in a very similar vein. I was just doing a lot of long drives, and I was getting sick of music, so I started looking for some podcasts. And I was already, in the strongman scene, kind of. And I think probably like a lot of people, I think probably my first introduction was from like a Coop video during Massonomics Gym, like forever ago. So yeah, that's how I found it. Love listening weekly. Good stuff.
Nice. That sounds like it could be an Apple iTunes review of tired of music. Listen to Massonomics.
Yeah, I can't put a review in though until we're on the road to 600 at least.
Oh, we're getting there. They're starting to push that.
I think we're on the road to right now.
Oh, maybe I could put one in.
Yeah, because I think we're at like 560. I think once we get to 580, then the road starts.
Yeah.
Yeah. It would be a shame to get in when it doesn't matter, like 601 or 602. That's like basically worthless.
Every review matters.
I guess.
Actually, I was listening to the back catalog and um, they read Tron's
Mm.
review, and it's still funny to this day. Like, it's still genuinely one of the funniest reviews I've ever heard.
Because he doesn't know it's like his Tron either, I don't think. Because this was like, I think Tron
He
mentioned that on
did.
our
He
episode.
he
Oh, he did.
figured it out on that episode. He was
Okay,
like,
okay,
"So I
okay.
figured out who this was."
That's funny.
Yeah, but then the whole tree fitty thing never got discussed until our podcast because, groundbreaking news here. Where do we find you on Instagram and Discord?
And
Instagram.
and TikTok. He's a big TikTok
You're
guy.
on TikToks?
He
I am
is.
on there.
He
Yeah,
when I met Dan, he only had TikTok. So then I
that's
had like,
true.
well,
That's true.
he had deactivated Instagram and then pulled it back up after a while. But
Yeah, I was off
Oh.
Instagram for like
I was like,
5 years. It was good.
don't make me get on TikTok, Dan. I literally open this app like once a year. Don't make me open it more than that.
Yeah, Instagram is just at Dan_Eager. And then I'm pretty sure that in Discord it's at Dan Eager, at Deeger96 or something like that. Pulls up as Big Dan Eager. And then TikTok, I think it's also just at Dan Eager.
Are you still
That
keeping up?
one,
Are you still keeping up on TikTok? Or are you just putting all your
yeah,
energy
I
in
post
Instagram
something
now?
like
I gotcha.
I post something every once in a while, just clips of training.
Yep, yep, yep.
It seems like there's a lot more like organic people seeing videos there, but I think similar to how you use Instagram, Keith, it's just like a fun little training log.
No, I mean, that tracks because it is. I can see people people
Hmm.
definitely don't want to see every single one of my lifts, but like I don't go fuck.
Yeah,
This is like this what I it's my training log. I
yeah.
don't care. You'll see my cats and my wife every now and then too. But yeah.
Hmm.
But I see some people that like if they started out as like mostly a personal Instagram, then yeah, I could see it like being
Yeah,
intrusive. That's why you see so many crew as of late making separate lifting accounts and stuff because it is, it's kind of
yeah,
easier that way because it's great to have it's great to have the training log. I mean, it's like
yeah,
at least as long as Instagram's around, like you'll have literal like 10 years of your lifting videos to like track your progress with.
yeah. Yep, I agree. I mainly got back on. I'm sure we can talk about it a little bit later too, though. I figured Instagram is the most useful for networking in the strength sports, particularly with the competition I'm going to be running in the summer. So
No, yeah,
I figured
we'll get to that in a
I
little
would
bit.
need
Yeah,
that. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
all us old folks don't like TikTok.
that's fine. Yeah, I
It's
mean
easy.
it's not great
Instagram's
for
easier.
connecting with people.
No.
Yeah, TikTok. I mean, not to use the word like ironically, but I just use TikTok mainly to like consume content. Like
Mhm.
it's way better than like Reels or like YouTube Shorts or anything for that.
Yeah.
So good
Um,
fun.
you had mentioned, starting in 2020, listening to the podcast,
Yeah.
everything. So, does that have you made the backlog journey, or you kind of is that
Um,
not so?
so when I started listening, I did start going through the backlog because I was doing lots of drives. I was actually driving out to Rochester very regularly because my wife was from there. Before we got married, she was living out
Oh,
there, and
nice.
so I
I'm
was I was taking like
rather
hour and
familiar
a
with
half.
Rochester.
Yeah, yeah. I was taking like
Been there a
hour and a
time or
half
two.
rides a few times a week, so it was useful to kill the time. And they were great episodes. And I just kind of started going back like from the most recent ones. I looked to see how far back I got, and the earliest episode I could find was 257, which was a Chris Duffin episode.
Oh,
Mm.
you got a lot of work. You got a lot of work to do to get that check mark, then, or to get
Uh,
the.
yeah, I
That
don't I
that
don't
doesn't
think
seem
I'm
like
going to
that's
be
gonna
getting that anytime soon.
happen. Well,
Yeah,
I mean, it is what it is. I mean, most people, it's like you don't. It's such a different world. Like it was literally was it 9 years they just celebrated, right? Was it 10? 9 or
and
10? 10. Was
hmm
it? Okay. Then that's wild. That's a decade. Like it's a literal decade. Are you sure
yeah,
it was 10 or not 9?
yeah,
I swear it
I
was
think
9.
so. Maybe it was 9.
I think it was 9. We're gonna get made fun of either way, but I'm like almost positive it's 9 because like the 7 year didn't seem. You're telling there's no way the 7 year anniversary was 3 years ago, but fuck, maybe it was.
Well, I'm looking at episode 106 was in 2018.
Well, no, I scrolled all the way back. I think it was 2016 was like the first pod. Maybe the
Yeah, that
gym,
would
maybe
be
the gym's a decade old, but so it's 9. I'm
Uh,
gonna call it 9 year. I think the
right.
podcast turned 9. So this was like from the live they just talked about 2 days
Sure,
ago.
sure.
There was a whole like that was their. I'm gonna I'll put myself on the line. It is their 9 year anniversary. So like congratulations to them. That's awesome.
Mhm.
But like are you the same person you were 9 years ago? Like, I mean, would you even like
No,
would
thankfully.
you even recommend
Mhm.
someone to listen to you 9 years younger even talk? Because I don't know that I could. It's like I don't know. So, but like, so obviously everything the last like 4 or 5 years has been essentially what they are still today. But like those
Yeah.
first few years are I wouldn't say they were hard to listen to, but like they are different. There's a
Yeah.
different
Nine
different.
years would have put me, 9 years ago would have put me right as a freshman in college.
Oh, just a baby.
Ow, that hurt.
Yeah. Yeah. I figured it would hurt
But
you,
oh
Joey.
no, no. So to make it worse, and I think Anthony said he was like 13 or 14 or something wild like that,
Yeah,
like just a baby, literal baby. And then I think
Uh-huh.
I had to math it up for 2016, and I was 31, I believe. So I was like, God,
I'm just a
Yeah.
baby.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
So
our 2 years is coming up.
it is. I've got it on the calendar, and I'm gonna go with the actual. They did the whole, however many weeks in a year times whatever. That's how many episodes, and I'm like, no, I'm gonna look at the actual date we recorded, and I'm gonna call that our 2 year
Mhm.
anniversary. So I think it's gonna end up being episode 102 is actually gonna be our I don't know whatever it is, but like yes, in the next the middle of next month is our 2 year anniversary. Well, I'm gonna celebrate it
Nice.
as.
Are we gonna do anything about it?
Yeah, I have it open at the moment. We probably should. There's no one. I think it's the next not scheduled week. You can ask Dan a question. I'll look it up. I've got to switch from docs to sheets real quick.
Oh, here we
Uh,
go. All right, one
uh,
piece of Massonomics merch you wish you had bought.
Wish I had bought.
You've got the most important one on right now.
I do. Yeah. I feel like I'm probably the worst person to ask about this. I didn't buy a single piece of apparel until they came out with something on the Comfort Colors blank.
oh wow,
Whoa.
Yeah.
that's new.
Well,
Yeah.
wow.
What?
Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
Well, then what's your Hall of Fame status?
Slow.
Yeah, because you wouldn't even have 10
Two
orders.
after today.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Hey, that's the
Yep.
spirit. No, we're number two. We're number two.
Yeah. You
So
are.
that's
You are.
so it's that's a picture with a crew and then being on unpaid.
No, drink spotter in this,
Oh, then you're three. Being a
you're
picture.
willing to count
Oh no,
your
because you
picture on your
haven't.
Instagram.
Yeah, no, I think Tanner specifically said it has to be your own post. You're right, because there's pictures of me and
Yeah.
you out there from my gym
Yeah.
page, but not. Yeah,
Yeah.
I
I
guess.
can get to three this weekend, given that I'm going out to East Ave and training with Lucas
Nice.
tomorrow. And Saturday, I think there's some more people coming to Syracuse for the competition that's happening
Yeah, I
here.
know.
Gotta do it.
I think Chris is heading out. I'm like, there's like a
Yeah.
6.9% chance I'll ride out with them and go to the
It's up
show.
to 6.9. It was 0.69
Yeah,
yesterday.
now that let's go with the 0.69 because I don't want to get anyone's hopes up because that's probably more realistic. I don't really want to go to Syracuse on if I take tomorrow off, which I'm debating on, I might come out. But
Mhm.
if I got to work tomorrow, then no.
Yeah.
I need a day home.
Yeah. Fair.
But you'll
Very
get there.
fair.
So
Yeah,
what?
I mean, I'm not super worried about it. I just I love being in like the community in the Discord and just
Mhm.
listen to the episodes weekly. I don't have any delusions of grandeur on getting a cup anytime soon.
Like I said last week, anything over one is awesome.
Yep,
That's
yep, yep.
so. What's your supporting membership number? We didn't ask you that yet, did we?
494.
Okay. Did I can't remember. Did I have a role in that at all or not? I can't remember. I don't think I did, but maybe.
No, I
Okay.
don't think you
Nope.
did because I
Did
wasn't on
you?
Instagram
So
then.
you
And I
joined.
think,
You must have joined crew, and then I know we had talked before we had met, and I think it was crew related, or
yeah, I think it was because
oh, was it through
our
Brandon?
mutual friend Brandon,
Oh
yeah, posted a
yeah, yeah,
picture
yeah,
with
yeah.
you, and I saw it and I was like, oh, I knew of you because
Okay,
of
okay.
I think seeing home gym stuff maybe on like Reddit or
Yeah, you
and
told me that.
through
Yeah,
Massonomics
that's
obviously,
right.
but
Big
yeah, I
Reddit
think that
guy
was
over
when I
here.
did it. Not a big Reddit guy.
No, no, I am. I haven't
Oh, you
posted there.
are.
I haven't posted there in like 3 years, but I do have a couple pretty popular Reddit threads, I think, in there over the years. No, that's awesome though. I'm glad we were able to matriculate. That's not the right word.
What?
Matriculate. That's not the right word. There's a word.
I don't know.
Like the artificial. I don't fucking know. I'm too tired to think of what I'm saying.
What the hell does matriculate mean?
That's not a word that I was trying to
It
use.
is now.
Like bring him in. Like bring someone in.
Attract?
No, no, it's something ululate, but I don't. It is what it is.
Osmosis?
Yeah. I still think.
Osmolate. He was osmolating me.
Malaz. But to go back, so I think May 4th was the first time we recorded, or May 4th, 2023 was our first episode. So when we record on May 1st, that'll be our 2-year anniversary. So that'll be episode 104. And that's what I'm going to call our two. I'm going to call that our 2-year anniversary. And that's like a week. Basically, we have 2 open weeks right now, and it's one of those. So we'll leave that open and kind of
Oh yeah, I got a big thing.
crew can suggest, we will ignore 90% of it, but feel free to suggest what you would like to see for a 2-year anniversary. Do you want a round table? Do you want Nate to just get on here by himself and just, do fucking, modem
Soundboards.
sounds? Because just, let us know what you want the 2-year anniversary episode to be, and we will probably not do that, but it might inspire us to come up with a better idea.
Yeah. Look at all the list of shit. Let's not do any of that.
I feel like that's what the whole ideas and feedback channel is on the Discord too. It's like everyone's like, here's an idea, and they're like, no.
I did, no. And did you catch the IG story I posted asking for feedback?
Yes, that was great.
But it wasn't. But it was just it was a screenshot, so there wasn't anything to click on.
I think the stupidest part was it took me like 3 tries. Right, so I clicked and it went to the next one, and then I was like, "Did I do this wrong?" And then I go back and I did it again, and then I was like,
"Yeah, it was good."
No, it wasn't. And then I finally got it. I clued in.
Quirky.
And then I shared every time I actually got someone giving me shit for it. I shared their screen. I mean, that's been, I don't know if it's, I mean, that I'd actually would like feedback. Do people like or not like when I do some screenshots of like text threads or comments and stuff? Or DMs? Because like, I don't want to feel like I'm not trying to put anyone on blast or anything or be overly intrusive. Some of that shit I think is hysterical, and it's easy content. I can do a screenshot and I can post it, and I know like 10 people are going to laugh and react to it.
Oh, when Ryan called you shoe foot, and in that picture you had one shoe and one barefoot. Oh my God. Mm-hmm. I hit the floor on that.
That's the positive. That's the positive reinforcement I need. Okay. Because I've been like,
you're always talking about too how it's like hard to get the extra content for that page because you guys both are busy all the time, and I think there's probably not a whole lot of people following that page that aren't actually listening to this. So
and also like my extra content and my extra content's feral and weird, and it like because like I
and it's you posting as pretending to be Keith too.
Yeah. Keith here, yeah, I actually said it the other day. Like, it's actually a good thing Keith and Nate are here sometimes, because I would go absolutely wild with what I want to do with this page and this podcast.
We have to keep it generally consumable, though.
Yeah, I know, but like, it's just sometimes I just get an idea and then I chase it. And the scary thing is sometimes it works. And yeah, we got some big stuff coming, I think, in the next month or so, where I was just like, there's no way this will work. And I sent a message and it worked. And so we just got like crazy stuff coming up. And then I had to check with these guys. I was like, is this stupid? Mm-hmm. And they were like, no, this is actually going to be really funny. But it's like,
did you make it into Aberdeen magazine before the guys did?
That would be great. That would be hysterical.
You should try. That'd be pretty funny.
I can't imagine that. I could write the article myself. I'm a published author. So I could literally just send them the article and be like, yo, take this. Here's my byline. You don't have to pay me. And then like they put in like Unpaid and Underrated, a podcast about a podcast from Aberdeen. That would be great.
That'd be pretty good.
I want to like, if we could crowdfund and get like the cheapest billboard, and it's just to support our podcast, not theirs.
I think we've joked about
and
that.
Just
that
put it in. Well, now we already ruined it, but yeah, that would be.
We put up one at the next Live Hard, Live Easy, and don't tell Tanner.
That'd be pretty good. Yeah, now he's gonna know though. He actually listens to this, doesn't he?
Yeah. Well, it'll be a surprise for Tommy because to Tommy's credit, he did listen to a couple of episodes recently of people that he knew at least. So I'll give him kudos for that. Dan, do you have a training center? Are you a certified training center banner owner? And what's the gym name and all that? Give your gym name.
I am a certified training facility owner. I think the name that I just put on there was Salt City's Strongest Home Gym. I'm not a very creative naming guy, but just went with that because it was fresh on the mind. Yeah,
Salt City. I was like, you're not from Utah. We just talked about this.
No, Syracuse is called the Salt City. The
I don't know by who,
the
because I've lived adjacent to Syracuse for like 18 years and I have never heard that term in my life.
Did you
it's
just call
like
yourself that and hope other people did?
He adamantly defended it in a text. He was like, "No, it's," and I think he even like sent me
no,
links of it. It's like I
it's
know,
very real.
I
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
I had never heard it called that at all. It's just funny to me that
Yeah,
had glazed over that one.
yeah, yeah. It is a real thing though, Joey. I'm not making it up. I
No, I know,
swear.
I know. That's a funny line. All right,
Yeah.
hit
Got a
him with least
little,
fun, most fun.
yeah, yeah. I got a little least fun, most fun for you, Dan.
Right.
You are familiar with this game, I hope. If not, anyone listening, I'm going to give Dan basically a general topic, and he's going to tell me the essentially the highlight and the low light of it. So the least fun, the
Mm-hmm,
most fun. This isn't a either other. This is a answer for both, please.
mm-hmm,
So
hmm.
big Dan, least fun, most fun, putting together your first strongman show,
Shoot.
and just you want to talk about that and like what stage you're in a little
Yeah.
bit too, because
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. I'll do some talking through it, and then that'll probably lead me to what is least and most fun. So I'm trying to put on, or I am putting on a show here in the summer, in the middle of June. It's going to be called Salt City's Strongest. It's going to be in Syracuse. There's already a good strongman scene here, but I'm hosting it in the other federation that's popular, which is Strongman Corporation. I've done a bunch of competitions in that federation, and every time I do one, it's always like Philadelphia is like the closest I can go to compete there. And every time I leave and I say, darn, I wish someone would like do this in New York so I didn't have to drive so far. And then no one does it. So I figured there are other people that probably want that as well. So decided to put one on. I would say maybe least fun so far is, you know, trying to nail down the details. And I'm trying to find some sponsors too, so we can try and make sure that it's like really good for everyone that's going to come out and compete. You know, I have no problem putting my own money towards it, but it'd be nice to not like lose a ton of money doing it.
yeah, like
Um,
the goal is always to break even, at
yeah,
worst,
yeah.
but
If I
like
break even, that's
taking a
like
thousand
great.
dollar loss is like, ah, that sucks.
Yeah, yeah, that seems not great. Most fun, I think, is so far has been the support that I've gotten from people in the central New York scene, kind of, and they're willing to like help test events or like share it with their friends, and a good handful have already signed up. I think Big Lisa, who's in the crew,
Hmm.
he said he's going to be doing it, which is really cool. And yeah, it's fun like picking out events and trying to think of what would be fun too. And I'm trying to make it as good as I can, for the athletes.
Right. Well, we appreciate it.
Yeah,
Finally, something for the lifters.
yeah, yeah.
So what
I'm
is
really doing it for them.
so what all did you actually hit on that? Did you hit Lisa and most in that? You
Yep.
kind
Yeah,
of
least
okay,
fun
perfect.
on the
Was
just logistics. I think.
yep,
Yeah,
makes sense.
yeah.
Are you going to be using Nate's programming for tracking the scores and stuff like that?
No, I'll probably just do it native in Iron Podium because they already have that tool built into the sign up.
Mm.
It's pretty handy. I've been like exploring the promoter side of the website for the first time, and they've got a lot of like really useful things. Like you can set out like different lanes if you want to run like two, three, four lanes of the same weight class at a time and stuff like that. And it'll like assign athletes so you don't have to do it yourself, and it'll auto print out like the score sheets for judges and stuff. It's cool.
Oh, maybe you look into Nate's thing because that was like, from what I understand, one of the best parts of the strongman at the Lift Hard Live Easy because Nate's program was able to be put up on the big TV and everybody
Oh,
could
you're talking
track
about
the
streaming
scores.
it?
Yeah,
No,
no,
so
so
his is always it's like it's Iron Podium adjacent, but it's like
Okay.
but it can something you can just cast to like a big TV, so then like the audience can actually watch in real time like the scores.
it
So
had like
Got
I
it.
think
like
I think
a
it'd be the same as like if you just had Iron Podium up on your phone the whole time,
Right.
but
yeah
I'm not really sure. There's more to it than that, or he wouldn't have put the time in to
Gotcha.
build it.
Oh, maybe I'll
But
yeah
look into it.
it had
Maybe I'll
like
message him.
it had like up at the top it was like reps to beat and then it would
Sure.
be
Oh,
like
okay.
current reps here, right? And then like Keith's
Okay.
head, it was like Keith's head up on the other side, like on this side,
Hmm.
like
That's
this.
cool.
Yeah,
yeah,
like it
yeah,
was really, really interesting, especially as a
Okay.
spectator who doesn't really understand strongman.
Yeah.
You're more bought in because I'm literally like he's got to beat 12 reps. He's at 10. He's
Yeah.
looking tired. Like, you know what's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was actually
I
big
think it was
ups
very,
to Nate GPT on that one.
yeah, it was very
That's
interactive
cool.
for that aspect. But
That's cool. I think I'd have to worry about getting TVs up and around everything too, which would be harder because I'll have to have 5 events set up across the gym we're at.
Oh
So,
my. All right.
so having that many TVs might be tough.
Keith, do you want to talk the next
yes,
subject or?
Dan, you are you allowed to talk about what you do for a living, Mister?
I can
Top
talk like
security.
I can talk generally about it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
if you want to
probably
spend like 30 to 90 seconds or however long you want, just tell people what you
yeah
do in case anyone has a
yeah
similar career and wants to chat with you offline or something.
yeah. I work as an electrical engineer. I'm in the defense industry right now. Switched over to that from uh, I was working at Carrier doing transportation refrigeration stuff before that. Just tinkering with stuff, working at like component level, board level, design, obsolescence stuff. Lots of troubleshooting, production hardware. Pretty standard run of the mill stuff. I'm not really like an R&D guy, but it's fun. There's interesting problems to be solved regularly, and keeps it keeps it interesting.
Nice. I drive by your facility quite often, I think, as I go
Yeah,
through there. I
yeah.
did
Buy
when
all the
I'm
soccer balls on the
yeah,
outside.
when I'm coming back from Albany, that's always like whenever I see that plant, I'm like, okay,
Yep,
I'm like an hour and 20 minutes from being in my bed, like or being at
yep.
my
The
house.
home
Like
stretch.
yeah, it's like I know I can
Yeah,
make this like the first
yep,
two-thirds are done, I'm almost home.
yep, yep. Yeah,
Well, good deal. That's pretty
yep,
cool.
yep.
Um, as far as lifting history, I know you got into strongman about 2019, it looks like. Did you do any
hmm
youth lifting or anything like that, or it's just been more of a recent
Only lifting in my youth was when I was swimming competitively. Really, it was like we had one day a week we would lift. And other than that, it's just been like here and there since then. And then when I was out of college, I just felt like I wanted to compete in something again because it had been since high school, and I'd grown up watching like World's Strongest Man when it was on around the holidays, and remembered that, and I was like, yeah, that'd be fun. I tried like doing powerlifting in the commercial gym I was going to for a bit, and I got so bored so fast.
Now as a high school swimmer, you're not going to make us call you Captain Dan, are you?
No, I'm
As a
not.
okay, it's good. Little
No,
hard
I
one
won't.
last week.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
What
So
about
Yeah.
Eager Beaver?
Uh, as a nickname, I mean, it's very original. I'm always impressed when I hear someone come up with it. Yeah,
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 it says here he wasn't a fan.
oh, because your last
yeah,
name for the Davids, it's because of his last name. I get
Yeah,
it now.
yeah.
Ha ha
By
ha.
the way, the David's his last name is Eager, so he would
Yeah,
be the Eager
eager
Beaver.
beaver.
Yep,
Hmm.
yep. And also Beaver is like also an innuendo. Just to further explain that joke. Ha 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 ha. Nailed it. Anyway, that one was
Got
for the
him.
Davids. Got him.
Got
Got
him.
the Davids. They're gonna hate us. Like eventually they're gonna stop listening to this and be like,
Uh,
these
I haven't.
dummies.
The funny thing is, like, I haven't. We have like that website we can go and look at our algorithm or our like numbers. Like, I haven't looked at that in forever, but I just have to assume we're not losing listeners. I hope maybe we're gaining some. I hope we're not losing too many.
I know
Yeah.
people at work keep asking me, "What's your podcast about?" And I just go, "Don't worry about
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
You wouldn't get it."
It's not for you. Like you have to. There's like eight levels of in like the vibe you have to get before I'll talk to you about my
Yeah,
podcast.
actually, somebody asked
Mhm.
today, and I was like, "How much time you got?"
Mhm. Yeah, should have sent them that clip from Shrek where he's like an onion
Yes.
layers.
I still need to watch that someday.
God, what
Well, as
about
soon
cake?
as
Cake's got layers.
sometime
Depending.
Wait, why did they say you used to swim naked?
Who said that?
it's
It says all I know is Dan used to love swimming laps naked. Wouldn't that cause drag?
it's probably somebody
That's
making
probably one of my buddies busted on me.
yeah
It's not
the
true.
the way our thing where I without opening up a whole nother program I can't tell you who submitted what because
Yeah, that's funny.
it copies and pastes it all combined together.
I
So
assumed it was fake, but I really wanted
yeah,
to make the
Yeah,
that
drag
was
joke, to be
no,
honest with you.
no. There were there were plenty of drag jokes already. A lot of us guys that were higher level swimmers would wear an extra suit outside of, the jammer, which is just like compression shorts. We would wear a drag suit, which is like, I don't know, it's just like a net or like a mesh, like
So we got
pair
to
of
put.
boxers over it to slow you down after you put the suit on to make you faster.
So we got to take the Nirvana album cover and put Dan's head on it.
I'm not posting that anywhere.
No,
Well, no,
please, not on our page.
Because some asshole, no, some one of the assholes listening to this is going to do that and put Dan's head on the baby and then my face on the little baby dick, and it's just going to be the most crude thing ever, and I don't want to see that. But it's gonna show up in my notifications soon.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
That now that you said it, nobody can do it. But if it had shown up, I would have laughed. Adding the Keith's head to everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
I can't believe it took anybody that long to do it. Like when everybody was looking at the picture of Mount Rushmore trying to find the alien, I let it go for an hour. And I was just like, nobody's going to do this. All right, I'll do it. And I put the Keith's head on the Mount Rushmore. Like that was hilarious.
Yeah, it was good. Where's the alien? Yep, I'm the alien, apparently.
Yeah, it was just the wrong exposure. You guys are looking at it from the wrong angle.
You got to look at it from the bottom of the pool. Right, Dan? Right, Dan?
Yeah, totally different from that perspective.
Oh, Star Wars talk. Everybody loves some good Star Wars talk.
I do like Star Wars. I will say I'm not like a super mega fan. Like I know all the books and know what's like old canon versus new canon, but I do love watching all the stuff that comes out.
Yeah, love watching the Space Wizards.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Space Wizards are way better than Ground Wizards. Ground Wizards are boring.
You're into Pokemon. Do you play Pokemon Go?
I don't play Pokemon Go. I started playing the trading card game recently, and I was just looking for something else to kind of, I don't know, be like a hobby that doesn't take like a gazillion hours and tons of money. And if you're not doing the crazy like collecting and ripping open packs like all the people do on social media these days, you can do it pretty cheap. And
you know where I work, and every day, like I'll come in and I'll get excited because I'll see lineups out the door, and I'll be like, "Yay, business!" And then I'll come in and see the Pokemon cards, and I go, "Boo, business!"
yeah. I can't believe that people do that.
Whatever you just did with your headphones fixed everything somehow.
Me?
Yeah, like you reached up and adjusted one, and I can hear you 10 times better now.
What the heck? I didn't do anything, I don't think.
Well, good work.
All right. Well, better late than never, I guess.
When you're drumming, what are you playing? Death metal, I assume?
No, I'm not a big death metal guy.
No double kick on there for you?
I don't have one. I used to have a double kick pedal, and then I realized that I was just using it to cheat things that I could do with a single pedal, and I was being lazy, so I got rid of it. Most of my drumming stuff is just through church, but then outside of that, playing for myself, I like a lot of just kind of standard like pop and rock stuff. Like British pop rock is probably one of my more favorite genres. So like the 1975 is really fun to play. Stuff from them. I don't know if you're super familiar with them. If you're a big metal guy, probably not.
No. I know the name, but I couldn't name a song. You know what I mean?
Probably the one that is most known would be Chocolate. That one was pretty popular like 8 years ago or something like that. I don't know. But, pretty straightforward stuff. I'm not like the most technical guy in the world, but it's good fun. I've been doing that for over half my life. It's a good fun hobby.
Being able to keep a beat is as technical as it gets because I could never do it. And it's funny because like if I'm sitting there like tapping and people are like, "Are you a drummer?" and I'm like, "No."
Yeah, it's a little different when it's all in front of you. Yeah.
The 3 seconds you saw me keeping beat is the most I can do it. Trust me.
Yeah, it's good fun. It's weird how much it does and doesn't translate to other things too, though. It's like, you would think that I'd be great at coordinating all of my limbs to do whatever I want, whenever I want, if I can do that. But it's like I couldn't like dance to save my life, and when I'm doing like a lift, like I could have like no spatial awareness at all. But it's weird. Weird that there's no carryover.
I'm sure there's some.
It's minor, I think, though. Yeah. I did. as far as metal stuff goes, isn't there a new there was like a new Sleep Token song that everyone's freaking out about?
I've heard more about it than I've heard it.
I've seen some clips of it. It seems like it'd be a fun one to try and learn. They're not like so crazy that I couldn't learn it with a single pedal, but it's
Yeah.
also a lot harder to practice with, an infant in the house and everything.
I mean, I could probably talk about the idea of Sleep Token for a few minutes
Hmm.
because I think that they have some songs that are mind blowing. And like this song has a
Hmm.
saxophone solo. Like, what is
Hmm.
happening? But at the same time, I also come from the other side of metal where you look at this and you're just like, what is this crap?
Hmm.
Like pick something and be good at it. Why do you have to be
Sure.
why do you have to be okay at everything?
Yeah.
And yeah, actually, if I give it long enough, get ready to yell at me. Sleep Token will be the Eagles
Hmm.
of metal.
Mm.
Yeah, it's just like they're not great at anything, but they're okay at everything. And that's to me what the Eagles are. There's already an Eagles of death metal, and they're actually incredible. Have you ever heard them?
Well, that's a contradiction of your own words. You can't say you hate the Eagles and then say the Eagle adjacent
The
metal
Eagles
is
of death metal are
amazing.
amazing. No, the Eagles of death
Oh,
metal
you're
are
saying that's
not.
the title of the band?
Yeah, they're called the Eagles of
Oh,
death metal.
okay. I thought you were giving me an anal or
I've
a
never
Nope.
heard of them before.
No, no,
some.
no, no.
Okay,
So
okay.
I think I've spoken about this.
I think you have two
Mm.
now that I recall.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's essentially like if Prince and Little Richard had a baby and created the silliest band that could come out of that. So if you get a chance, you actually might enjoy their drumming because
All right.
it's Josh Homme from Queens of the Stone Age, Homme.
Okay.
He plays drums for them.
Okay.
So it's not
I'll look it
anything
up.
crazy, but it's very if you're into that kind of basic like
No, he plays drums, not the bass.
disco, I would call it almost disco
Yeah.
drums,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
you maybe get a kick out of them.
Yeah. I'll check it out. I'm trying to think of anyone else that's like metal. I mean, there are some like heavier or like I guess metal bands that I do listen to. Like I'm a big fan of Animals as Leaders. If I'm trying to get like mad hype for like lifting, I don't know if you listen to them at all. No.
Nope, that one's over my head. And
I
that
think
doesn't happen very often.
I think the most of the metal stuff that I end up listening to or stuff that's kind of in that space is more like weird like Berkeley nerd like art projects after they all graduate from Berkeley in Boston. So like I think like Bill Murray is like that too.
Yeah.
They're like all artsy fartsy
So
about it.
essentially it's like my one friend used to describe Primus as this is what happens when art students make music.
Yeah. Yeah, probably like that. Yeah. Yeah. I'm big into stuff like that. The kind of concepty type music. It's fun.
And you went pretty far with the drums. You auditioned for some bands when you were younger in your youth, or had some opportunities to play in some bands?
Yeah, the biggest one that I ever did was like coming out of college. I did a couple auditions for a mega church down in Charlotte that has like one of the bigger like church music bands. They're called Elevation Worship. I like got invited to go down there and try out, and then I like flubbed up real bad and messed up all the stuff. So
Oh no.
I was like, yeah, it was fine, meant to be. I ended up being like back in Syracuse after graduating, anyways, and it worked out. But yeah, it was cool. That's probably like the biggest opportunity that I ever had for anything like that. But I'm glad it didn't end up going that way. A life of playing music seems like a really hard life generally.
Seems like a good way to hate music after a while.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it really does.
If you
Yeah,
get
when I
old
was
enough, it gets
when I was
old.
thinking about going to school, I was debating doing like music or physics, and I was like, well, it'd be a lot harder to pay off, college loans with a music degree and do physics for fun, but you could probably get a physics degree and do music for fun and pay off loans.
That's a good perspective.
Yeah,
um,
Do you do a little
go ahead.
mead? Are you a maker of the meads? It looks like.
yeah, yeah. My buddy Josh and I have been trying that the last couple of years. It's a nice passive hobby. We're making like one batch, maybe like every like 9 to 12 months. The first one's terrible. It's so bad, dude. We we accidentally tried making essentially the hardest kind we could, like a real kind of dry, white esque wine type mead. Yeah, first one really bad. Second one, second batch we've got done. We got to bottle it sometime soon. But that was like a fun thing to just try. He and I are both big fans of this one brand of meat called All Wise. It's based out of Brooklyn and it's run by I think Dylan Sprouse from The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody, one of those guys.
Gotcha.
Um, yeah, so yeah, got inspired by that to try making it. I don't know how many more batches we'll end up doing though. It's discouraging when it's bad. Home brewing's hard.
Well, how about home gymming? How's that going?
Home gymming's great.
It's
This week of training was good. Posted that in the Discord. I think it was the first time I posted a lift or anything in there.
nice.
Um, yeah, it's fun training at home. I started getting stuff for that this past summer with having a baby on the way that was born in August. Figured it would be prudent to be able to, walk up from the basement and help out with anything if needed rather than being 20, 25 minutes away and having to drive home in the middle of a workout. So my wife was gracious enough to let me start getting stuff. And I've got enough now to basically fully train strongman in the basement, which is great. I love it. Home gyms are sick.
It's awesome. Yeah, I know. I remember, when we first met, you were basically saying that, you got a new baby and you just kind of got to have a little more priorities and,
Hmm.
you still got, good options to, go back to your main. Do you still have a membership at, what's the heck's the name of that? I can't think of what's the gym you go to?
Edge, strength
Edge.
and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
conditioning. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I do. Yep. I usually do my like event days there or at
hmm
the other local strongman gym.
Yeah, I'm assuming
Um,
you go to
it,
Jamie's every now and then, right?
yeah. Yep. I've been going there more recently with the competition prep that I've got going on because he's got more of the stuff that I need for that. But yeah, it's also like home gyms are great. I love it, and it's great to have like everything you want and not have to wait on anything. But the community of being at like a good gym is not something I feel like you can get rid of if you have a good one. It's
Yeah. I think
hard to beat that.
I think you have a good balance though. I mean, if as long as you make it to Edge every
Yeah.
now and then, and I'm sure you see your
Yep.
buddies there, and then
Yeah.
with social media too, it's so much easier to still be. You could exclusively train in the home gym, and as long as you put the effort into it with your friends online, like sharing
Yeah.
videos, tagging people, whatever, like
Yeah.
it's not the same, but you definitely you can make more out of it than if you actually put the effort. If you
Yeah.
want to be in the bigger community and have a circle of friends like that, so that's pretty
Yeah.
awesome.
I think you've probably seen that though more in the last like 15 months with doing strongman. Like
Yeah,
when you go over
for
to East
real.
Ave and you do
Yep,
the
yep,
like strongman Saturday stuff with them, like
yep.
strongman particularly, I think is way better when you're doing it with people because especially if you're doing like the same events as everyone else, you guys can like share the load of literally of like bringing everything out and putting it all away. Otherwise, you're like spending half your workout, setting up the event you're training.
Yeah, the worst thing I had to set up here was that like 4 bar deadlift medley that was like
Hmm.
500, 475, 450, 425. Having to put all that
Yeah.
away. That took me I did that in like 6 attempts of like I'm not moving these plates. It'll take me 20 minutes to put these fucking plates away if I just like started it and just went.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
You're better than me for that. I would have just set
hmm
up like one bar and maybe four reps on
Well,
it.
I wanted it to be a really cool video and like because it was
Yeah.
no, it was all like it was elevated.
Yeah.
It was a
Yep.
power bar 13. It was
Yep.
yeah, it was 4
Track
different.
bar and
Yeah.
then like a axle, I
And
think,
then
from
the
the
axle too,
floor.
yeah.
Yeah.
So while we're still on the topic of this,
Yeah.
I'm gonna hit you with a Mount Rushmore. I know that's usually Joey's, but I don't know if I'm gonna do FMK this week or not, but my Mount Rushmore I want to go with. So I want to go
Yeah.
your Mount Rushmore of Facebook Marketplace finds specifically in the home gym equipment for either something that you
Oh,
added or something that maybe you shared with a buddy or something. Like those are the
sure.
four best deals you've found on Facebook
Yeah.
Marketplace.
Um, I'll end with what I know is my best one.
Yep.
Uh, I think first one I would go. I found a Rogue 100-inch Monster Light rig with spotter arms and two pairs of J cups for $200 in New York
Damn.
City. Yeah, and I sent that over to Jamie for his new gym 315 Strong, and
Damn.
he had a buddy down there pick that up and then drive it up.
Yeah, because
As I
I was
think
about to
that's got
say
to be
like
close to the best value
that
right off the top.
5 6 hour drive from Syracuse. I don't even know if that doesn't mean that's what it 5 hours from New York City.
Maybe like 4 to 4.5.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
an 8 9 hour day if he was to
yeah,
do it, but if he had someone mule it to him and threw him a couple hundred
yeah. He had
bucks.
someone that was coming out this way,
Oh yeah,
anyways,
so
and
then that's definitely
yeah,
a no brainer for sure. That's a great deal.
yeah, yeah. I think that's got to be one of the best ones. I was able to get locally here. One of the better deals I got was my Rogue Ohio deadlift bar, which is way worse than a Texas deadlift bar.
That's Keith's
A
favorite.
pair,
It's just like
dude.
it's a
You got to lift
slightly
so much on it to make it like bend and make it worth it. Like the Texas deadlift bar is just so much better.
yes,
Um, so
agreed.
I got the Rogue deadlift bar, a pair of calibrated 55 pound Rogue plates, and a
Nice.
deadlift jack for 350. So that was basically
Wow.
like a
That's
free
fair.
deadlift jack and plates for the
For
price of the bar.
yeah, for
Calibrated kilo plates.
just have an extra
Oh,
power
pound,
bar.
Just
calibrated pound.
calibrated pound plates. Okay.
Yeah. I don't
Give me
really
my
use them though. Like,
give me my steel plates. We used to be a
yeah, yeah, yeah. I was
Pound
laughing
plates.
when they
This
were
is
talking
right in the
about that
line of.
because, yeah. I hate the thin calibrated plates. Honestly, like,
I hate calibrated plates. I
what
don't
are we
know.
using a deadlift for if not for like making it width more and look cool? You know.
Yeah.
So that's probably up there. I think versatility wise, I've gotten a lot of use out of the cable machine that I got. It's one of the just like cheapo, crappy ones, but I got it for $50 from someone that was upgrading to like the fancy new Rep one.
Nice.
So they were just looking to get the space back. So that was a pretty good deal. And then the best thing, which was like Facebook Market adjacent that I've got, is I have an infrared sauna in my basement that I got for $0.
Oh, I want one of those so bad.
It it was great. I actually not even a week before saw someone in like the Binghamton area, so like the southern tier of New York, had put up a regular like traditional sauna for free as well. They just wanted to go on, and I was trying to be nice. When I probably should not be like this on Facebook Marketplace if I want to get my way, but when I see something for free, I'm like, I want to like honor the person that's like giving this away and make sure I can actually use it before I say I can take it. So I wanted to get home and like measure up the space that I could put it in. And by the time I measured it up, the guy had already, gotten rid of it, which, to be expected. And then a couple of days later, my mother-in-law texted and was like, "Hey, a friend of a friend is moving and can't take their sauna. Do you want it?" And I was like, "Sure." I thought it was just going to be one of those like zip up ones you put like
Yeah,
a lawn
yeah,
chair in.
yeah.
But I was like, for free, like I'll take it, no problem. And I got there and it was a full infrared one person sauna. It's great.
Wow.
It's funny.
Yeah.
Joey was right there. Every time you adjust your AirPod, it actually gives a significantly better microphone for a second.
Keep adjusting those.
Yeah, so just like stick your fingers as far into your ear as you can, maybe. And I don't know.
I'll just do this the whole
Yeah,
time.
that literally made it sound
That's so
30%
weird.
better. That
All
is,
right.
I don't know what it's catching.
Maybe it's when the little stems are pointed out farther away from my face. Or maybe the beard's getting in the way of the microphone. Who knows?
That's
It's all good.
impossible. Beards only
Probably
get
it's
in the
not.
way of eating, drinking, marital relations,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
I
job
took
opportunities.
I
Like
took
beards don't get in the way of audio.
I took I took about an inch off mine just because I was working in such a gross building the last couple of weeks that like I just smell like smoke every time I leave, and I just like the less facial hair I have, the easier it was for me to like wash my face and just
Mm-hmm.
not stink the rest of the day until I could take a shower. So that was a
I
small contributing factor.
I took about 2 inches off, but I think for one of the next chapters of my life, I think most of this is coming off soon.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Like
That's a
like
big
I'll probably
change.
go down to maybe as short as you, Dan. Like I can't
Yeah.
be without a beard because I genuinely look
Yeah.
stupid. But I do think if I have to
I've
start
never made it as long as you.
if I have to start wearing a beard net, I'll be
Ooh,
taking it down there or braiding it a lot more often.
yeah. That's a lot of beard if you need a beard net or a braid for it.
This is a and even actually I was on a call today and I just
Mm-hmm.
thought, fuck, I just had this trim. Do I seriously look like this?
It looks good. You don't do it yourself, right? You get
Oh no,
someone to trim it for you.
I have a person.
Okay,
And
yeah,
she's been
they
doing
do a great job of like keeping it like straight up and
that's
down.
how I know when it's time to go is because it starts like coming out the sides.
Yeah, yeah,
And my wife will go, "You're starting to look feral." And I'm like,
yeah.
I can't have that. We'll have more beard talk during Unpaid and Underrated. Don't you wait.
Okay, okay.
Was that Mount Rushmore?
I stole Mount Rushmore. We can do it again unless you've seen
No, I went
FMK.
peeved. So we get over.
I had a relevant Mount Rushmore that I didn't see nothing at FMK jumped out that I really wanted to talk about. So
No, I've
we
had
can do
like
other Mount
2 liters
Rushmores
of water today, so I'm
of
overhydrated.
cola.
So
Good on you.
2 liters of cola. I don't I don't want a large. I want a liter of cola. All right. Do you want to ask any of the ones that we put into Nate GPT?
Yeah, we got a whole bunch of stuff back from Nate GPT. Oh, there you can do the FMK from that one since I stole.
Yeah,
Or I mean,
we put
you can still do your own Mount Rushmore. I just figured
no
we
no
could
no
do
no,
two Mount Rushmores. I
it's
just
okay. It's not my game. It's our game. It's okay.
FMK is like the pressure that you had about coming up with a silly question every week. Like I kind of get that with FMK most of the time because usually the suggestions via the questionnaire are not specific FMK suggestions. They're just general. So then I still have to do all the legwork.
Mhm.
Whereas Mount Rushmore, it's just like it's just an easier game to play. So like some weeks I'm just like, dude, I don't have shit. But yeah, I think we could do that FMK that Nate GPT spit out at us and see if Dan knows what we're talking about.
Okay, so yeah, so we put your name into Nate GPT,
Okay.
and he spit out this FMK. There's got to be a better word, like let's go SMK. Let's go screw Mary Kill. So that way it's a little more user friendly. Theo, Antoine, or Dosick.
Hmm.
He says they are the main vocalists for the band.
For the band.
I think this was I don't know. So
I don't know if I know what that's from.
okay. I think
Nate.
a lot of it was all a lot of religious and like gospel music-y stuff, I believe, is where he was pulling stuff, where it was pulling stuff from. So
All right, well, Nate.
Hey, I'm sorry, Nate GPT.
Yeah, Nate GPT led us the wrong way.
Big Nate GPT here. Just a friendly reminder that while I do my best, I'm not infallible, so always verify my responses before using them. AI-generated answers can sometimes miss context or nuance, and it's up to you to make sure everything checks out. Oh, and the question was about Wolfpack, a funk supergroup. Double check blur 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 blur.
Let's skip that, and I'll do my own Mount.
yep.
Overhead variations.
Oh man, overhead variations. That's a good one.
I had that one. I had that one highlighted, bolded, and italicized. Italicized.
Oh, I did
Is
see
that
that.
because you are you looking for what ones you want to do most next, or
Yes.
I'd love it.
okay?
Yes. Tell me about the good ones to do.
If I could do one more for the rest of my life, it would be overhead press.
Yeah, I think that's a good play. I think one that's a great one that I don't see tons of people doing is strict log, but like the kind when you're like kind of really extended in your thoracic spine, and it's kind of like a standing bench press. I think that's a great one. That's kind of I think gotten onto my Mount Rushmore from doing all the MST systems, like programming. They're big on that for overhead work. I would say I think the bamboo bar is a great overhead accessory movement. It's not necessarily competitively, but I think it's just great for getting some good shoulder stability work and warming you up really good.
You do the plate loaded one or the one with the bands with kettlebells and or is there a
no bands and kettlebells? Yeah, not the tsunami bar.
Okay.
Tsunami bar would have been very on theme with the Nick Canby episode from the sister podcast this week, though. He loves that thing.
I feel like they talked about it. They talked about it on last week's episode. They talked about it while they were in.
I've never
in
used
the Carolinas.
One. They seem fun though.
They talked about it again last night.
Did we play with one when we were at Massonomics Gym? He had
no, he does. He has the
an earthquake bar.
He has an earthquake and a bamboo, or maybe those two are similar enough.
Same.
Whereas the tsunami is a plate loaded flexi bar, so different. But it's like obnoxiously flexy. It's like Gumby.
Yeah. Okay. So strict log. I think bamboo bar. I think circus dumbbell is a really fun one. Have you guys tried that yet, Joey?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that one's a really fun one. And then I'm gonna pick another log variation, viper presses. Those are fun on log.
And what did you call those as of like 2 months ago before you realized they were viper presses?
I still don't think I'm wrong, but I called them one motion
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess so. I've never heard the term one motion. Oh, I mean, I guess now that I remember you using it that, but like
Yeah.
Tim, when I was at one of the ESTAF sessions recently, they were talking about
Hmm.
doing the sandbag in a one motion, and I was like, I don't know
Yeah.
what do you talk? What does that mean? And they're like, oh, okay, now I see what it means. So I can see why calling it.
Yeah.
I could see. I'm not necessarily on your side just because it is a Viper press. That's just what everyone calls it.
Yeah.
But a one motion is like is the phonetic term for it, if you will. Like
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
it is a
One
more
motion from left
accurate.
to overhead,
It
probably.
is
Yeah.
it is a more descriptive because I don't know where the where Viper comes from. I don't.
I
I,
don't know either, but that's what people want to call it. I'll call it that. That's
but
also
I
what my coach calls it, so it's easier for me to just switch to that.
yeah. But yeah, that is funny.
Okay,
I would not put a block press on there, Joey, if you were wondering about that. That's a stupid event.
what's a block press?
It's a literal block, like a plate loaded box, and it's like
Think of like pressing a
rectangular.
rectangle,
Yeah,
like a
like
200-pound
almost like a
rectangle above your
suitcase,
head.
like a
No,
Yeah.
small like
that
carry on
sounds
suitcase.
stupid.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
It is it's an event and it's like I mean it's a lot of people do it.
Like I would do
Yeah,
keg press before that.
I hate that one too.
Well, I
It's
didn't
too stupid.
enjoy them, but I think
Yeah,
I would do that
yeah.
before a rectangle press.
Yeah, the block presses are weird. The first time I ever tried one, I think it was like only 90 pounds empty, and like once I cleaned it up to my front rack, I felt like I was gonna pass out because like the corner was
Yeah.
just like digging into my throat so bad.
And how often do you do that in real life?
I've only ever done that once in
Yeah,
a
and then but
competition.
like how does that translate to real life? Where like, well, I better pick this rectangle up and throw it over my head.
I would probably say only if you're like in the military and you were throwing like an ammo case over like a
Yeah.
wall.
Yeah, geez.
But that's not me, so I'm good.
Keith gave me an idea for another question, and I'm going to put this out to both of
Yeah.
you, and I'm going to explain why.
Okay.
I recently discovered that I can pull off chest supported rows.
Hmm.
I love those almost as much as I love shrugs and deadlifts. I have been just increasing the weight and going ham to build my lats and my shoulders and my back. And genuinely, like, I feel so good after doing them.
Hmm.
And Keith said if I could do one lift for the rest of my life, I would do overhead. So, both of you, tomorrow, you're told you can only do one main lift and some accessories. What's that one main lift?
I think it's got to be log press. I mean, are you counting like all the variations of that? Like, are okay for me to do?
I don't
Yeah, of
know.
course.
I think it has, but if you say all the variations, that makes it like so much more than just a single. Because I would
I
say
want to know what's your favorite version of log press. Are you doing clean and press away,
if I
rack
had to do well,
press?
I mean,
like,
probably.
favorite versus if I only can do one lift. Because if it's favorite, it's like it's going to be
no, it's
a
the one.
variation I enjoy.
Some-
And but if it's what's one thing I can do that I can actually still
One
get a
forever.
full body ish workout from,
Yes, somebody
which
says
would
to you tomorrow,
yeah.
you are only
Yeah.
allowed to do one main lift and then some accessories.
Oh, axle clean and press from the floor probably. If it's
Oh man, you're a
'cause
brave one.
I mean, I wouldn't want to do that, but at least that way I could still. That would be if I just say like a strict press or
I know, I hate those
a
too.
push press out of the rack.
Yeah.
Like at least I don't love it. I don't know.
Yeah, I do like log clean and push press. Like
Yeah.
clean every rep.
No, we have the same answer.
'Cause
Log
that-
versus axle.
Yeah,
I'd agree. I actually would go log as well, but even though I don't have a log, I do enjoy the hell out of the log.
If you were doing axle forever, Keith, I feel like you'd get like
Well,
unless you're good at switching the hands, you get like one like way
Yeah,
overdeveloped
that's
bicep
true.
from continental cleans.
I would have to think about that one, but I could also go double over. Well, I guess it's still because if I don't know, they're both gonna suck. But I look at it as like
Yeah.
if I mean I look at it like this, I took 4 months off of log and I like was exactly where I was at with log like before I took time off. Whereas like if I took 4 months off axle, I think axle would be harder to get back into.
Yeah.
I
find it hard to get back into that.
Yeah.
But I also have like log in the program year round.
And also
It's like nicer on the shoulders.
in this hypothetical world, for me to do log all year, I'd have to go to the garage when it's like negative 10 degrees, and that ain't happening. So I can whereas I can axle. So I think that actually contributed in my answer was I'm
That
not.
makes sense.
I don't. If I want to train 3 days a week and I can only do one lift, it's going to be something I can do in the basement. So
I would look,
Yeah.
log is eliminated from that scenario.
and that I think might be a huge difference between us. I would look forward to going outside and lifting logs in the snow. Like that would be so fun for
I
me.
do want to
Would be
get
a
that
good
on
way to
my.
get all your neighbors to look at you funny.
Yeah, well, because
They're
when I first
they're
started
going to this.
deadlifting in the driveway, that's what it
Hmm.
was. Like I was deadlifting, and I had a tarp over my bar with the weights always on it because I didn't have
Hmm.
anywhere else to keep them.
Fun.
So I would be literally in the driveway, standing on a rock or standing on a board, and my
Hmm.
weights are on the board, like the plates.
Yeah.
And I was deadlifting in the driveway because it was like the only place I could deadlift until we finally cleared some space. And so I actually used to look forward to that because like
Yeah.
I would do half my workout and then be like, all right, we're deadlifting. And it's like in the
Hmm.
snow and in the cold and like your body's fighting it, but you're like, I feel like the
It's
deadliest
pretty
lift,
hardcore.
right? Like he's out
Yeah.
in the mountains of Utah deadlifting. And I was like, yeah, I want to do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely I still think it would be straight up deadlift, if I'm being honest with you, if I could only do one thing forever.
Probably the most like real life functional.
Yeah, but
Whatever.
I'm really loving these chest supported bar dumbbell rows.
Yeah.
Okay, I was going to follow up with you on that. So
Yeah.
you're just doing like an incline bench that you just put your
Yeah,
chest
well,
up.
because I
Yep,
have
I do a lot. I've done that with dumbbells and even like
Hmm.
camber, depending on
Hmm.
Swiss bar or camber bar, depending on what it fits. But
I don't have room for
yes,
the bar to do it, and
yeah,
so
they're
like it was one of those ones. It was in Juggernaut, and then I was like
Hmm.
going through like the videos. I was like, I can do those.
yeah. It takes so
So
much pressure off my back when I do them
I
like
pulled
that.
out the
It's amazing.
35s and then the 45s, and I was like, oh my God, this is such a good pump. Like I feel so good.
Hmm.
And I got my wife
Yeah.
to do them, and she was like, ow, my boobs, which is fair.
So if they do actually make a pad, like there's an ab mat
A boob
device.
ab
Is
mat,
it
yeah.
It literally like I think it goes under the breast essentially, and then like makes it to where the boobs aren't smashed on the pad, so that it is a literal product that I
I've
think.
I feel like I'm doing an order from AbMat at some point for that Zerker pad that Hogan
Yeah.
has. Yeah.
It's wild that Scans had never seen that. That's
I know. Everyone was like, just use your
Yeah.
elbow
That's
pads.
strange.
It's like, I don't even have elbow pads. Like
Mhm.
I got rid of them because I said I'm never gonna need these. And then I started strongman and now I need these. But
Yeah,
yeah, definitely
elbow pads are important for
that
strongman.
triangle pad, because I have a circle pad, but it just moves and slides and slips.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Because like the main problem I have with Zerkers is that they just fucking hurt.
Yeah. Are you're just doing it on a regular barbell, right?
Yeah. What should I
Yeah.
do them on?
I don't
That's
think he has an
probably the
SS.
easiest thing to do
Yeah.
it. Yeah. Do you have an SSB? You could do it with that.
I do, and I don't like it because my squat depth is pretty deep, so I just end up
Mhm.
hitting my knees
Take the
Yeah.
with the handles or the
with the handles.
you can unthread the handles if they're
Not
unthreadable.
on mine.
Okay, yeah, that's what I have to do on my.
Okay.
That's what I do on my
Tough
elite.
then.
Yeah, because our Lucas, our mutual crew, I saw him do it a couple times. Like, ooh, I can do that. So when I was deep into
Yeah.
strongman and I wasn't like back squatting at all, I was like, but I did him weird. I almost did like a front squat SSB, like slightly above where a
Yeah.
Zerker is and below where a front squat is, and just kind of like,
Mhm.
but it felt really good, and I could do like 300 pounds, and I was like, this is awesome.
Yeah. You should. I'll send you a video of something you could do with that. That's like similar to Zercher stuff. Joey, I've been doing like extensions with them instead of like doing. I had Claiborne squats in for a while, which are like a fun variation. That's like squats like holding a sandbag, and then like more popularly, you'd have like a band like around your hips pulling you back, and you're just like extending all the way up. But you can kind of emulate it with like an SSB and just kind of hug it and like extend up as much as you can with it. And that's like a good fun variation. That'd be like a good at home strongman thing for you to do too.
So then I think this is a good opportunity before we get into the kind of the game, like the next unpaid and underrated part.
Yeah,
You did recently send me to try MST.
I am a shill for them. I love
Yes.
them. Yeah.
I was doing the math today. It's pretty much the same price as Juggernaut
Mm-hmm.
when you go from pounds to Canadian dollars.
Mm-hmm.
So I have like two questions.
Okay.
Juggernaut does not have a lot of variations. So the implement day, they only give you like 10 things to do, and I literally only own 2 of those implements.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is MST a little more?
Hugely, yes. So you either they have some pre-built like phases. They have like anywhere from like 4 to like I think 12 and 16 week pre-built phases. But you can also make your own programs that are like 8 week blocks and pick literally like everything about it. You could, say I want to, peak my 3 rep max log, and then I want to accumulate volume on my deadlift day, and then I want to do a 20 rep squat on my squat day, and then the events that I want to do are like this, and this, and you can pick everything. You can pick kind of like the rep ranges or the goal weight that you want to do. It's great.
Does it require that? Because in all fairness, what I do like about Juggernaut is I open it and it goes, go lift this. And I go, okay, I don't have to think.
The pre-built ones are going to be like money to begin with.
Yep.
There's,
and then as I get more
Yeah.
used to it, then I can start moving things around.
Once a phase is built, you can't actually move anything around. I think that's like a feature that they wanted to add originally, and then like they built it too much, and then they couldn't like change that. But you could like rebuild the program again. So there's not any like. I think Juggernaut AI has like I don't like this, like sub it for something else kind of thing, right?
I mean, but I need that. So like I'll go into a week and it'll go, well, you're doing log press today, but I don't have a log, and I've told Juggernaut that several times.
Okay, so with the MST, you could just be like, I want to do axle press. Like you don't have to ever program
okay,
wrong.
yeah.
Yeah. So you can like you pick like the specific implement even if you want, or like I'm running 15-inch deadlifts for this whole block.
Okay.
And it'll just hold at that for like all 8 weeks in the programming.
Because I mean, like I was on the website and they've got some big names on there that have clearly used this.
Mm-hmm.
And you've been listening, so you've heard all my complaints. I was talking to a guy and he's a strongman competitor, and I met him a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was like, how's your strongman going? And I was like, I'm losing strength. And he's like, then you're not doing strongman.
Mm-hmm.
And like I struggled on a 400-pound deadlift a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
But I used to rep 4 plates, and it's like, what is happening here? For some reason, my squat is decent. My bench is going up for whatever reason, but my deadlift is going down.
Your deadlift should always be going up in strongman. Like everything's a deadlift.
Yeah, I know. For me to struggle to lift, it was actually 390. For me to struggle on that, I used to do that cold. Like I could just walk in and pull 4 plates like it was nothing.
Yeah.
And then suddenly like 390 gave me a fight. I was like, what is happening? So
you get some heavier sandbag or something, because I didn't deadlift I've deadlifted like fucking 10 times this year, I think, and I'm fucking pulling PRs all the time.
Yeah, you've got a bigger deadlift than me right now.
Hey, there's a change.
Sandbags are a great training tool for that, honestly.
I've got 4.
I'm sad to hear that like the jug like strongman stuff is like that, because it seems like everyone that's commented on that in the Discord says that it's kind of the same. And
yeah, and I'm in talks with Juggernaut about it.
Yeah.
Right. Like I submitted a few issues and was like, this is kind of wild. And even Chad responded to me, which was kind of nice, but
it's not like an added feature. Like you're literally just like Juggernaut is a powerlifting app that has this secondary feature. They're just using you as guinea pigs to try to like make better. So it might take like 5 years for it to not suck.
I don't have 5
I know.
years.
I get it. So
I don't know. Every time I open it, it's never above 7 RPE. And I'm like, like I know I need to be pushing. Like this is not overload for me.
Yeah.
All right. All right. I'll look at MST a little further. Or I'll just get a coach like a loser.
MST is so much cheaper than a coach.
Not by much. But yeah, pretty much.
Oh, are you finding coaches for like $50 a month?
I'll just get Keith to send me his training and I'll just back off.
I'm hoping my powerlifting coach can transition soon to, we can actually do some strongman, because I made it very emphatically clear. It's like, all right, like my only goal this year is to have an amazing performance at Lift Hard, Live Easy. So we're literally gonna have like 4 months to like teach a powerlifting coach how to program some strongman stuff, but I'm still gonna kind of do whatever the fuck I want anyway, because that's just like I'm gonna go do strongman Saturdays with Tim and Chris and the boys like once a month probably all summer. So
I might even, just to get things out of the way, do some implement days at the gym that I'm emceeing at this weekend. Like just go
Yeah.
for the day pass because I think
Yeah.
their monthly is $100, but the day pass is $20. So if I have to do that once every 2 months, I'll do that.
Yeah.
And just like, I want to borrow your log, I want to borrow your Atlas stones. Just give me like an hour today and see
Oh
if I
yeah.
can pull that off, right?
Yeah. That's the way to do it for sure. If you can get your hands on the implements, yeah, it's hard to train log without a log. It's a
I
weird one.
want to log lift so much, but I can't in my basement. It's just not, there's no room for it. And I've even finding
Really?
logs. There's a log on sale right now for 180 CAD.
Dude, just get it.
I can't. There's nowhere to
Go
lift it in
outside.
my
You can
house.
do it outside. You just said you
You don't
did
have
Well,
you
the
can't.
summer
deadlifts
is
outside.
coming.
You're
Yeah.
there's not a spot at least because like where you don't have a place where you can go the opposite direction of the floor joist, or do you have an open seal? Is it not an enclosed, or is it?
No, no, no. It's an unfinished basement.
Yeah,
So like technically yes, but I'm already like pushing it
yeah.
with a barbell and plates. So
Are you if you used 25-pound plates, do you feel like you'd have more clearance with the barbell?
oh, absolutely.
Okay, you should look into that. Where I log press in the basement, prior to collecting 5 pairs of 25s, I had to stand like perfectly in one spot, so the 45-pound plates would like fit just between,
Yeah.
uh, the rafters. And now with the 25s, I have a whole like inch and a half or two of clearance.
Is it worth doing seated log presses to kind of simulate?
I hate that variation, but
Yeah, I
it's
think
still
I
a
would
good
too.
one.
So what you can like learning how to and practicing a log clean is
Mhm.
a workout on its own. Like Dan was
Yeah.
literally log cleaning 300 plus pounds as an exercise today or
Mhm.
yesterday. So like that is
So
also a thing you can do.
so you're saying just buy this damn log?
I think you should.
I mean, I don't know what 180 Canadian geese are, but it's probably, something
No,
reasonably.
it's
Yeah.
honestly like 100 you.
Oh, then that's
I mean, if you
that's
get that too, though,
what
Joey, if you
diameter is
get
it
that and then
too?
you do, oh yeah, that's a good question.
Because if it's an 8-inch log, you might even be able to press it in the basement, but also it's not going to feel like anything you use in competition. But if you're never going to actually compete, just because competing in strongman is difficult because even if it's set up by body weight, like if you're going like the 165s or the 181s and under, like it still might be a crazy heavy weight that like
Mhm.
I couldn't even do. So, and
I don't plan on competing
so then
at
it
all
wouldn't
anytime soon.
wouldn't necessarily matter. But I would
Yeah,
look at the
I would say
diameter.
don't get one smaller than 10 inches if you're going to get one.
Yeah, because
A
that's
Okay.
diameter. Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
highly
noted.
recommend though. Yeah,
That's fair because an 8 inch is
adds a lot of
really
variation too, and like the program you can do. Like if you did the MSC thing and you had an axle and a log, you'd have like, and you have an SSB. You said, dude,
Yep.
you'd never get bored. Yeah,
All right. Well, thank you for that.
yeah,
I was gonna text you all of this, and I was like, "No, I'm gonna
Mhm.
talk to him in like a couple days.
yeah,
I'm not gonna bother."
yeah.
All right. I do have to pee. You might probably want to jump in on paid underrated.
Yeah, I'll see if there's anything. Let's see. Was there anything else? There was a couple funny stories. Someone had that's what I wish I did know who submitted it because I know Brandon had submitted some stuff, but I was gonna
Oh
try to
yeah.
cherry pick some of his. But was there an incident? Were you getting ready to? Where is it? Da, 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 da. So I'm just gonna paraphrase what they say.
Yeah.
So the someone's favorite Dan story is you guys were getting ready to lift and you were sitting on the bench and you lifted his leg to put your shoe on and you just snuck one out there on him. A nice audible toot for your coworker or your co-lifter.
Definitely would have happened. I have no doubt. Was that on Brandon? Maybe that
I
was
don't know.
Brandon.
I don't think it was. I think I saw
Ah,
this before he finally submitted his. So that's the like I said. That's the one. I wouldn't say the downfall, but like
yeah,
unless I would like look at it through a different lens, like I don't know who
yeah.
submitted what.
No,
But
I mean, yeah. Once I'm in the gym, those are all flying free. I'm not holding that in, man. If you hold that in and you go for a big lift, you're gonna explode.
yeah, yeah, no, that's fair. So I think that's most of what we wanted to cover before we jumped into unpaid or underrated. So,
All right.
do you want to take the chance to explain to the listeners and your families and friends what this game is and how we play it?
Yeah, sure. Unpaid and underrated. Big Keith and Big Joey are gonna give me a topic or a point of discussion, and I have to determine if it is unpaid or underrated. Underrated, obviously, is what it sounds like, and unpaid is if it would be overrated, essentially.
That's fair. That's a fair description. All right. So, Big Dan, unpaid or underrated York roundhead dumbbells.
Uh, I think underrated. I don't think they could be any cooler, but they're still underrated. Um, I've been collecting some. I'm picking up a pair from you tomorrow.
Oh yeah, you're.
Yeah,
Cough
yep.
on them. Cough right on them.
No, they are. This is a even if I'm home, I don't know. Well, if I'm home, I might it might be easier. I'll even bring him to East Ave, but I think I've got to go to work.
Cough on him.
Yeah,
Cough on his
But
cats. Go cough on
no.
his Ohio
they're
bar.
they're currently they're currently in the garage, and he knows how to get into the garage, so it's
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
a dead man pickup, so it'll be easy.
yeah,
You have a combo.
yeah.
You got a combo lock on there. 6 9 6 9 6 9.
Uh,
Yeah, I'd say underrated. They're really cool. I think the thing that I love the most about them, like I was texting with you about it recently, Keith. Like I would love to have like a bunch of them, but I don't want to go above 50-pound pairs because I'm a dropper of dumbbells when they get really heavy.
don't tell
Um,
Tanner.
I mean that's
But you better not make it out to Aberdeen.
oh,
You're gonna be the one that bends his hundreds, aren't you?
well, I wouldn't use the dumbbells. I have too much respect for them.
I
Um,
know.
yeah, I I just feel like it's also increasingly difficult to find them above 50 and way more expensive.
Yeah.
And you know, I think the coolest thing about them though is the history you have them. Like they're the pair of 50s I have, I bought from a guy who, I think was the only owner of them ever. And he was
Oh,
like,
that's
"Yeah, I
actually
was
really
gonna like
cool.
give them to my kids, but like none of them were interested in lifting." Like gave me some history on them, stuff like that. Like it's cool to be like, "Oh, I'm only like the second person ever own these," and think of all the stuff that they did with them.
Nice.
So underrated,
Good answers. All right. Unpaid or underrated? Going for a nice hike outdoors or hiking in
unpaid,
general.
unpaid.
Yep.
Yeah,
I heard.
I would bet that my wife put that one in there. I hate hiking. It is so not my thing. Like getting bit by bugs, being out too long, and the sunscreen doesn't last long enough, and then I come back redder than the shirt I'm
Oh
wearing.
yeah, I
Yeah,
forgot.
Um,
that's the
You
ginger
are
curse.
yeah, man. And then on top of it too, it's like someone's already been there and took a picture of it. Like, why do I gotta walk there to walk back just to see it? Like, I'm over it. Like, I'm fine driving to a nice site, but yeah, the hiking is not my favorite.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
There's some good stuff. What is it? Is it Mountain Bluffs? I think it is out in Syracuse, where it's Chimney Bluffs. Maybe I don't like. You're
It's
along.
not too far away. Yeah,
Yeah, well, maybe it's
up on the
closer to.
lake.
It's kind of between
It's
you and
probably
me,
closer for
maybe.
you. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a while
I mean,
since I've
there's some nice like parks around here that I like walking around. We have one like right by where we live called Green Lakes, and that's like a nice one. But that's like basically a walking trail. So
been.
yeah, once it becomes like moderately difficult, I'm not into it at all.
That's funny. All right, my last. Oh, I'm gonna go with one that if it falls short, I'll just move on. So, unpaid or underrated, the movie Whiplash. Have you seen that movie about the drummer and his abusive
I
instructor?
yes,
Okay.
I would say I, generally I'm indifferent, but I'm not going to ride the line.
Yep, can't do that.
I would say it's probably underrated.
Okay.
Musically, it's a cool movie. I think the acting in it is like not the best. They really like ham it up, and I don't know. There
I
are
think it won a bunch of awards, or at least was like highly regarded, and it's
yeah,
I think on IMDb
yeah.
it's like one of like the top 10 movies, like highest rated
Is it
movies that I no
really?
no that sorry that I haven't seen because I can sort my watch list of
Okay,
like movies that I plan to watch someday by like
yeah,
their overall rating, and it's like an 8.5 or something on IMDb, which is extremely high. So it's like
yeah,
I just haven't found the draw to it. So I was figuring if you could sell me on it, like I try to sell people on movies here every now and then,
yeah.
that there's a higher chance
I
I'll
think
watch
that
this than I
it's
will Shrek.
I think there's probably some real instructors out there that are really like harsh on
That's
people like that guy is in the movie,
that's
but
sad.
it's I don't know when people are chasing excellence, they go to some extremes.
Yeah, I mean, we do wild shit to our bodies for the sports that we love, but I don't know.
Hmm.
Having someone put hands on me would not be a thing. It ever happens.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
What you got for him there, Joseph?
All right, you're only gonna do three. We have a huge list here. I spent so much time on this
Okay.
list. All
Oh,
right.
all right. Fuck you
Yeah, do
then.
one more. Do one more. Go.
Big Dan,
Show me.
unpaid or underrated combo Rex.
Um, I I think they're probably unpaid. I don't know. I don't know if that's there because I squat out of a squat stand and that's like almost a combo rack, but I don't know. I feel like that's like just a really pricey squat stand. I don't know why you need that ever, unless it's like a powerlifting meet.
I mean, the people that
I
train
agree.
specifically for powerlifting is always good.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
I
I
don't think
don't
I've
know if you
ever
need to
used a
train that
combo rack in my
specifically
life.
though. Um,
uh,
yeah, I guess unpaid.
so I have a question about hiking.
Okay, hit me
Uh,
with it.
would you like it better in barefoot shoes?
Um, no, I don't think I would because uh, I already don't like hiking in regular shoes. I don't wear barefoot shoes regularly, like out in the world. I wear uh Carhu, I think is the brand. They're like a wait, no, it's not Carhu. What is it? Ultra. Ultra is the brand. They're like a wide toe box, like zero drop
Mhm.
sneaker. And I like those. Like I think it's more comfortable doing it in those than like boots, but I like the cushion on there.
Ah, I only hike in barefoot shoes because I'm not allowed to hike without shoes. So, all right.
Yeah, that's probably a safe bet.
Yeah, I don't like shoes in general and
Yeah,
foot prisons.
yeah.
Okay. Unpaid or underrated? Beard oil.
Uh, Underrated. I think it's good. I think it's better than balms.
Hmm.
Um, and I think I think it's probably better smelling than colognes that people put on most of the time too. So points for
Hmm.
that. Yeah. Um, but yeah, I think it's definitely underrated. I think a lot of people don't know what it's for too. I mean, and you can correct me if I've got my history on this totally wrong, but beard oil is more. I mean, at your length of beard, definitely for keeping the hair moisturized, but probably more at my length, it's more for keeping the face moisturized
Hmm.
well, and conditioning the hair, obviously, because the like beard hairs are so coarse and dry, they suck like all the moisture out of your skin,
Yep.
and the oil is much better at rehydrating the skin than a balm ever is because the balm never like can really get in like the oil can.
Yep. And one of the secrets I learned was make sure your face is moisturized. That's how you avoid the beard itch because your
Mm-hmm.
beard just steals all of the moisture from your
Yeah.
face and your skin and your
Yep.
neck, and then it gets itchy because
Mm-hmm.
it's developing dandruff, it's developing
Yeah.
um
Yeah. I've never actually dealt with the itchy problem, and I've had a beard probably since like 2016 or 17.
yeah.
But I was I think when I started growing it, I was like, I want to like not look like scraggly and like terrible, which I did still for a while. But I
Everybody
was like
does.
watching like the like old beard brand videos. That was when they were like bigger on YouTube. It was like right after they were on Shark Tank, and they had a lot of like tutorials and like ways to use stuff, and that was helpful. And I think using like the beard oil from the beginning is good. I even still use it like when I go through phases of like cutting it really short. I still put it on.
Yep. Yeah. I don't use balms. Beard's too long for balms. I
Mm-hmm.
did have a cream I really liked, but I found it too thick.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't really enjoy the scent at the time. But
Yeah.
if you're listening to this and you're questioning should I grow a beard, the answer is yes. Stop shaving
Mm-hmm.
and just do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, clean your
After
balls.
about 2 weeks, it does become more work than shaving regularly, though.
I
People should
disagree.
know that.
No,
Really?
I the reason I have a beard is because, like I said, I was shaving one day and my or my razor was rusty, and then I went, I'm never paying for one of these fucking things again, and I haven't. I've never bought a razor for myself ever since. And yeah, like once every 2 months, I go for a trim
hmm
to bring things in. But like the
hmm
beard oil, I have boar hair. Do you have a boar hair brush?
I got a couple, yeah. Yep.
I've got a ram's horn brush and I've got some wooden combs. Sorry,
hmm
a ram's horn comb. God, that's a hard
hmm
sentence. And some wooden combs. And like
Yeah.
you take the static out, you bring it like
Yeah.
um. But yeah, I definitely would say a good beard oil. You want to make sure they're not using crappy like grapeseed or whatever some of those
Yeah, jojoba should be
oils
like
are.
the main one usually.
Yeah, jojoba and olive oil, definitely you want to use
Yeah.
those.
Hmm.
So yeah. All right. Love that. Love it. Oh, wait, no, I want that one next. I have four for you.
Sounds
Un-
good.
Unpaid or underrated? Dill.
Terrible. Unpaid. My
Good
wife put
answer.
that one in 100%. I hate dill. It is like one of the worst, like,
Oh,
I don't know,
ow.
spices or because if you like dill to me is like the joke of like LaCroix, like, oh, like essence with orange. It's like a truck of oranges drove by like 10 miles away. It's like if you like waft some dill in the air, everything tastes like dill. And I just like, and then if you put it in, like it's you only taste dill. Like you would have to like put in like I don't know, ghost pepper or something to taste something else. I hate it. It's so bad.
I love dill.
I hate it. I think it's the worst.
That's so good. All right. Unpaid or
Yeah.
underrated? Warming up.
Uh, I think that it's unpaid.
Yes. Team no
I
warm up.
I don't like warming up. I do it because it's in my program and I pay someone to tell me what to do. So I do it these days.
Hey, secret
And
is my app tells me to warm up too, and I just skip that step.
yeah, I try and do it when I have time at least. And begrudgingly, I think I will admit that some of the things that are in there have helped me feel better. Um, but I still get annoyed every time I do it.
I guess it depends on the style of warming up. So I like when Juggernaut first launched, it didn't have warm ups.
Mm,
And like a big dummy, it was like your top set's this much weight. And I was like, that's where I start. And like I fucking didn't do anything. And I started at
that's
my
great.
top set. Taught myself I was stronger than I thought I was. And then
Yeah,
they started releasing warm up sets. And then they have their warm ups where like you lay on the
yeah,
ground, like you lay on the ground and you wiggle,
yeah,
right? And
yeah,
you just get on your hands and knees and you wiggle. And I was
yeah.
like, I was doing all of those, but then they would do like your actual, like if you were squatting, you do your squat warm up.
Hmm. Yeah.
Well, the Juggernaut squat warm up is like 20 to 25 reps.
A lot of reps.
I'm exhausted before
Yeah.
I get to my top set.
Hmm.
So I was like, and then when I talked to Sam, big shout out to, Thunderhawk Sam,
Hmm.
he was like, so skip them.
Hmm.
He's like, do like 5 reps on the empty bar.
Yeah.
And if your top set's 315,
Yeah.
135, 225, and then top set. And I was like, you can do that? And
Yeah.
that's what I started doing. And suddenly my workouts went from 2 hours to 45 minutes.
Yeah, that's the thing that I hate the most about like the warm ups that I have now is it just like it tacks on another like 20 or 25 minutes. And
Yeah.
like, it's like they're not bad to do, but
I
having
like,
25 minutes back 4 times a week is nice.
yes. And I'm not saying don't warm up. I'm not saying
Yeah.
that, like, I'm
Like
with
if your
Sam.
shoulder feels creaky and you're overhead pressing, do a little more overhead pressing before you get to your working weight.
Yeah. But, like, I'm
Nah,
not
I'm
saying
gonna
do
start
what
at
Sam
135.
does, which is empty bar 405. Like, that's like that. Good for
On a squat,
him.
that's wild to me.
Yeah.
Deadlift, I'd be totally fine with that. But a squat, I feel like I'd die.
Exactly. But I'm 40 years old. So like I do need a couple in betweens, but I'm not doing what Juggernaut says, which is like
Yeah.
10 to 20 on the empty bar,
Fuck
5
that.
with this weight, 3 to
Dude,
this
even
weight,
like
2
the
with
time
this
of just
weight.
putting plates on and off, like for
Yeah.
all the little jumps, like I've been around enough people that are like, oh, you should be smart and do like plate, quarter. But I'm like, I don't know, like the deadlift set I did earlier this week was 635 for a three. If I was taking a quarter jump and then a plate jump every single time, I would have like taken 30, 40 minutes to warm up for a top triple.
Yeah. And by then
That's
you've done
crazy.
so many sets and
Yeah.
reps,
Well,
like
and even
forget that
even
noise.
just doing like plate jumps then, that's still like five,
Yeah.
6 warm ups.
I
Yeah.
feel like on like an elevated deadlift like that too, it's so much easier. Like when I do an elevated deadlift or a block press or something or a
Hmm.
board press, like I'm not doing my warm-ups that I do with like straight weight on a bar. So like I'll go
Hmm.
plate, or I would I'm definitely like doing significantly less warm-ups,
Hmm. Yeah.
or making just bigger jumps. So like yeah, it
Yeah.
makes. But if you're going right from the floor, if you were, it's a big difference between pulling 660 from the floor versus 660 or 15 inches. I'd imagine on what you're warming up
Yeah.
with.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd say so. But I mean, even still, it's like, I mean, similar to just like strongman competing too. Like sometimes it's good even to like train with
Oh
less
yeah,
warm-ups
if you're
because
ever gonna do strongman, you have to get
yeah,
good
you
at
go to a show and
not
it's like
having a warm up
maybe
room and not doing warm ups, or if you did do warm ups, they were an hour ago on something completely not relevant to what you're about to go on lift on the platform.
You're
yeah,
pulling some
yeah.
bands.
You get to the last event and everyone's like, "Can we just do it? We've been moving for 4 hours." Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
So and powerlifting too. Like when I have the least amount of warm ups for my deadlift because I'm like, this is the end of the day.
Hmm.
I don't
Yeah.
need to like I'm gonna do like three warm ups and then maybe like two
Hmm.
heavier reps and I'm gonna go deadlift. Like that's it.
Yep.
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 All right, last one, and I hope it doesn't fall short. Unpaid or underrated? Uncle Eero.
Oh, Uncle Iroh.
Yes.
Yeah, from Avatar: The Last Airbender. Underrated. Uncle Iroh is great. The whole Avatar: The Last Airbender series is great. I think that's like I think maybe you could technically call it an anime. I'm not an anime guy, but
It,
I
it
I think
it
it's
technically is, but if I enjoy it, we're gonna say it's not. Because
yeah.
I
I
also don't like anime.
Yeah, my brother's a big anime guy, and he would say that it's like one of the best or the best like American anime ever, which I think is probably a good distinction.
Mhm.
Oh, nice glasses, Keith.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, Avatar is amazing. Uncle Iroh, I think, is a great character. I think if you ever rewatch that series, if someone's already watched it before, he's like maybe the most fun character to rewatch in it, and you
Mhm.
see so many things you never would have noticed the first time through. Like it feels like when you watch like The Matrix like a second time and you like notice stuff, or like Inception when you like notice stuff again the second watch through. But there's like even more than that, and I think also too, he just like he's an example of what like a good guy is in like a in a bad scenario. I think he's still like a good influence. And then I'm betting my wife put that one in there too. I also cry at the episode where he like sings a song for his dead soldier son every time.
Wasn't that song also about him?
I think it was dedicated to him.
Because
Yeah,
he had died.
yeah,
Oh,
The
the voice
actor.
actor.
yeah. The voice actor, that was like the last episode he like did. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. I cry every time I hear it though. And
I I
now I'll
I
probably
did
cry
once.
worse too with like a now that I have a kid. Like if I think about like outliving my son, that would be really sad.
That would be horrible.
So fun story. We talked about Samurai Jack last week or the week
Mm-hmm.
before. So
Mm-hmm.
Aku from Samurai
Mm-hmm.
Jack is the same voice actor as Uncle Iroh.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
in a weird like Morgan was like, you should watch Avatar with me. And I was like, I don't
Mm-hmm.
like anime. I'm not going to enjoy this. And as
And
soon
it's
as I
so
heard his
good.
voice, I was like, that's Aku. And then I
Mm-hmm.
was in, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because it was the same voice actor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
I
I've rewatched that series more than any other series of anything ever.
I think I've watched it twice, and I don't like animated series beyond Family Guy
Mm-hmm.
very much at all.
Yeah.
Right? So
I've
It's a good watch. If anyone listening hasn't watched it, you should.
little King of the Hill update. I definitely am like halfway through season two. I've just been having it. I kind of just been like, if I'm just laying in bed, I'll throw it on my Hulu app on my phone and just kind of play it in
Mm-hmm.
the background. Like I'll watch it if it's there, but like it's nice to just like it's such an like I don't have to see the video to like know what's going on. So like I've only watched
Mm-hmm.
I like so like it's funny like I've watched it on TV a few times, but a lot of it has just been it's just easier to put my headphones in and like watch it on my phone and just not disturb the house. So but yeah, I'm working my way through that, and we'll see how far we go. I do have a couple Instagram questions I'm going to hit you with.
Sure.
These were ones I thought I actually had in the show notes, but I must not have ever brought them in.
Mm-hmm.
So, Brandon wants to know, what's it like being only the third strongest squatter at your commercial gym?
Technically, I think I'm the second because he doesn't
Oh,
even go there anymore.
oh, I mean, like, but you have to like historical numbers. I'm pretty sure. I mean,
Um,
he is coming back to Syracuse. I'm not sure if he kept his membership or not, but I know he's gonna
yeah,
be. I know he still has an apartment.
yeah. I mean, I'm fine with it. I don't know.
I know.
Squatting is an accessory movement for strongman. So
No, I figured. I don't think
yeah,
only me and you would find that funny, I guess. But
yeah,
Brandon's our mutual friend. I've been friends with. It's actually my wife's
yeah.
coach now too. But we've been together. We've been
Oh,
friends for
nice.
like a decade. Um,
He's a good guy.
yeah, he's a good dude. And probably I don't even think I'd really know you. Like, he's definitely a good go between to introduce us. So,
Yeah,
all right. Big Garrett had a couple, but one that stuck out was and this will actually segue into maybe some strongman talk again real quick.
yeah.
Why no grip shirt at your comp? And I think that's just more.
Uh,
Is that just more of the federation that you're bringing in? They seem like very anti. They're
um,
I guess in general, is it just because the promoters want their T-shirt to be like in pictures or something? Like I don't get
yeah.
the.
So typically the reason that happens in strongman corp shows, and I think every strongman corp show I've done, other than nationals, has been no grip shirts allowed.
Mhm.
And strongman corp shows tend to, on average, relative to the USS ones, have more sponsors, and I think a lot of it is like
That
out of
makes
respect to
sense.
people like sponsoring your show. It's like, hey,
Yeah,
we want their logo to be out there.
I gotcha.
Yeah, when it's just like you're running it by yourself, like if I like I have like one sponsor for the show, but I was like, hey, I'll put like your logo on a shirt and stuff like that. So it's kind of like if they're giving me something, the least I can do is be like, hey, all the pictures are gonna have your thing in it.
That
So
makes more sense. I get it.
yeah, you know,
Okay. The last one here is your wife Lisa? Is that who that is?
that would be my mother.
Oh, your mother. Okay, then
Yeah.
it's even funnier that so your mother responded to our Instagram. She wants to know how huge your dad is.
Dude, he's tiny. He's like
Is he?
150
Okay.
pounds soaking wet. Yeah,
Okay. Well,
yeah,
I heard
yeah.
you used to be about that size too, and it wasn't until you started get one of to harken to one of the other notes that I that kind of glazed
Oh
over
yeah.
earlier was someone has basically said that they used to think you were huge back in high school, but then like your high school you versus you now is just like
Mm.
hysterically like completely different.
Yeah, yeah. I for a long time I was a smaller guy, probably until I was like a junior. I think I was maybe like 130 pounds, and then
Okay.
between sophomore year and senior year, I went from like 130 pounds to like 190. And now,
Did you sink to the bottom of the pool that year? Like
no, I just got
that's a lot
faster
of
because I was
that's a
stronger.
I was curious. That's a lot of body weight to add on. So like that had to be if you didn't if that wasn't a lot of muscle, like that's wild. You
Yeah,
couldn't
I was probably leaner than I am now for sure. I like food too much now and don't move as much as I did then.
well, there's a lot of movement in strongman, so that keeps you healthy-ish.
Yeah, it's not swimming like 5 or 6 miles a day though.
God.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't. If that's one of my buddies that's known me for a while too, like it on top of being larger, I just look totally different. I was like no beard, totally
Mhm.
buzzed head all the time back then. So
Yeah, I think I did scroll back a little bit and saw a no beard. I saw a no beard picture somewhere in one of your platforms, and I was like, oh, well, that is what he looks like. Okay.
I wonder where that would have been.
I
I
can't
don't
even
even
remember.
know.
Maybe I'm making it up. No, I swear I saw I don't where the fuck would it have been? No, we're friends
I
on
don't
Face. It
know.
had to be Facebook. We're friends on Facebook, I think, right? Right.
I don't think we are. I don't know.
We
I'm
gotta
only
be.
friends with my wife on Facebook.
That
Oh,
had to
I
be.
only have it for Marketplace.
Yeah,
Or
Facebook
maybe
sucks.
okay.
Yeah, it does.
I swear I saw a picture of you with no you were like you had no your face was like 20% smaller and it had no facial hair. I
Yeah,
don't know,
that
man.
sounds about right. I'm gonna try and get back to that size though. I think I've decided I'm gonna try and
Oh yeah,
compete under 90 at nationals, so
that
maybe my
makes
face will get smaller again.
what's that in pounds?
Uh, like 200.
Where the hell did I see that? Now I'm confused of maybe it wasn't.
All right. So, did you find what you're looking for, Pete?
No, I to follow up on that. I think I'm completely misguided and it was someone else, some other bearded person that I've been reviewing for podcasts coming up and that so I don't know who the fuck it was. I don't know. But so apparently I don't know what you look like underneath that
Uh,
big ginger beard of yours.
Don't
So
need to know.
but now it's just funny because now it's gonna like it's gonna fester in my head of like who did I see a picture of from like 10 years ago that like I
I'll
did.
find one and send it to you,
There
Keith.
you go.
That'll be
Oh,
the thumbnail.
Oh, never mind. I'll send it to you after this is out.
I'll send it to Joey. He won't share it. Dan, what do you got for us, if anything at all?
I've got a million things written down for you guys.
that's fine. We got all the
Hit
time in the
us.
world.
I'll pick a couple. Let's see. So for both of you, since you started training strongman, I'm wondering what is the least fun and most fun so far of training strongman for you guys? I don't think anyone's asked that yet.
I don't think. Least fun for me. I hate stones. I hate stones so much. Like they're fun, kinda, if they're
Hmm.
moving really good that day, but they don't feel
Hmm.
like they move very good that day very often for me. And then, like we
Hmm.
always do them at the last damn event, and I hate tacky in general. Like I've gotten
Yeah.
better at like dealing with tacky and putting it on and taking it off. I maybe tacky is the least fun because I hate ruining my goddamn clothes because like I hate ruining clothing.
Hmm.
The most just having like six different excuses to press stuff over my head.
Hmm.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Just different moving different body parts maybe or moving actually no, I think moving stuff differently from what I did in powerlifting for a decade.
Hmm.
Like which would it kind of that answer encompasses some overhead press, but just also like
Yeah.
picking like squatting down and deadlifting bags up and like
Hmm.
farm like just everything that is not powerlifting is the
Yeah.
most fun thing about strong. Literally, like
Yeah.
that has
It seems to be
that's
doing you a
cheating,
lot
but
of
I
good
think it's
too,
the answer.
right?
It's like just the 100% difference.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, but I don't know, strongman, very fucking awesome. I've enjoyed.
Um, I'll start with least fun for sure. I don't have the implements and I don't have the room for them.
Hmm.
There are two things that I desperately want, which is a log and farmer's handles. Now I have a trap bar. The trap bar could work as a farmer's handle implement, but I don't have the room for it.
Hmm.
So unless I can somehow move the truck and move everything and walk up and down the driveway, but then I got to leave my weights outside, got to leave my plates outside. Um,
Hmm.
and again, like we talked earlier, the log, I don't have the room in the basement, but the log is the thing I want the most. It looks the most fun. And if I have unlimited
Hmm.
funds, I'd be getting a wooden log. Like I would be going all in on that
Hmm.
concept. Um, so the least fun would be I don't have the implements that are required. I don't
Hmm.
have Atlas stones, so
Hmm.
I'm doing bag over bar to try and get
Hmm.
something there.
Yeah.
Most fun, fuck your what do you call those? Calls. Bench, press, rack,
Oh
Commands,
yeah.
squat,
Yeah.
rack,
powerlifting
press.
commands.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
god. Like
I don't know. There's some strongman shit. There's a lot of rules and like there's a lot of rules in strongman competitions. Like
and I'm down for them. I just don't want to hear them anymore. Like I don't know. I just think that's
Yeah.
I think not having to bench is my favorite part.
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
hate bench.
Because bench just
Yeah.
I'm over bench press.
yeah, but I'm only over bench press because like touch and go, I'm great. Like certain
Hmm.
weights, I'm good. Certain methods, I'm good. But they're like nobody's measuring my fingers around the bar and the rings.
Hmm.
Where's your nobody like I
Yeah.
do feel like powerlifting is the nerd sport,
Hmm.
right? Strongman is the passive sport,
Hmm.
and then you've got throwing, like your
Like Highland Games.
yeah, your Highland Games is
Yeah.
like the I'm retired and still want to be strong sport. And like I feel
Hmm.
like that is the progression of strength sports.
Hmm.
So I yeah. I think
Yeah.
not having to hear commands anymore is moi.
Yeah. That's a good one. That's a good one.
The other day I
Uh,
went like here's a just a very brief
yeah.
30-second story. I went into the gym. I was feeling amazing and it was a bench like Juggernaut had me benching. I did my opener at the Lift Hard Live Easy for
Hmm.
three reps. And I racked it and yelled, "What the fuck?" Because it went up so well,
Hmm.
so greasy and so easy. I was like, that was amazing. I enjoyed that. But it's because I was
Hmm.
able to just bench,
Touch
not
and go,
like
yeah.
bench, pause, wait, control bar, up,
Yeah.
rack. Like I just didn't have to do any of that. But I
Yeah.
still got to move that heavy weight. And
Yep.
I do feel like in strongman, like you just have more opportunity to move heavy weight.
Yep.
You don't have to do so many like, well, my shoulders weren't back enough and my hips weren't locked enough and whatever that
Yeah.
crap is.
Yep.
Powerlifting's a nerd sport. You're a bunch of nerds.
Home gym nerds.
Good. I think those are good answers.
California
Thank you,
sweat
guys.
hogs.
I think this is a good one, and this is maybe a good call out to some other people in the crew. Are there any lurkers you guys are hoping to get on, or wish you were more active in Discord?
Oh, Hannah, I'm coming for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, big Hannah, I'm coming for you. I had a whole podcast with you that didn't get released, and you are funny and you are engaging, and I'm coming for you. Strongman Hannah, we're coming for you.
Yep.
Yep.
As far as there's people I've met in like I don't want to like I'm not gonna put anyone on blast. There's people I've met in person that I've talked to, like there's people that said to me more at the Arnold than I think I've ever seen them like type in Discord, and that's just wild. Some of them just don't have like not having social media. I think plays a role in it too. Like big Paul's not on social media, I believe.
Who was Big
but
Dick Shrek or whatever?
I did meet him. Well,
I've met him too now.
I saw people meet him, but I didn't. I was still a little annoyed at him in general, so I didn't. He just from his whole like standing him up and saying that he was going to go to Crew Falls for some reason, then not. So,
I didn't even know about that, but yeah.
Yeah, no, that was a whole thing. It's irrelevant. It was just he came over. He's a very energetic person. Like he was very animated and energetic. Seemed very friendly. But I don't think he puts any effort or time into being crew. He just likes Massonomics, but I don't think he necessarily cared about like the us, I guess, if you will. Like I don't know, which that's fair. Like there's people that like they listen to a podcast. They're not trying to gain 500 new friends, but they still want to support Tommy and Tanner.
Yeah.
So like I get that too. So that's just we get the social aspect out of this that I don't think some people get. So it's hard.
Or want. Some people don't get.
Yeah. So it's hard. Like we got 500 people in crew, but 50 to 75 of those probably are deactivated cards, have cards that haven't been people that don't care or whatever. And then another couple hundred that like probably wouldn't want to be on the podcast. But like, I don't know specifically. I feel like we've got a lot of damn people on the, we have had like, I don't know what, 80 guests, 85 guests. Like that's wild to me.
That's a lot.
Because we had 90, this is episode 98. So I think we've had at least 80 plus episodes, 80 plus like in literal interviews. I don't know. That is a good question. I'd have to. There's more. I wish I had unlimited time, but like a lot of it has to like. It's hard because like things to come up organically. I don't want to just like randomly. Like if I've had no dialogue with person XYZ like at all, it's hard to reach out to them. So like some of these people like I might not have had dialogue with for like a year, but I know I met them at Home Gym Con like last year. So I'll be like, hey, do you want to be on the podcast? Because it's like I'm still trying to focus mainly on people that I have still met. I mean, either the easiest way to get on the podcast is like to be super engaging with us on social media and in the Discord. If you're not that, it's very hard for me to want to reach out to you because I don't know who you are whatsoever. Or like one of us had met you in person and came away with a good rapport of like, oh, they know how to talk. This won't suck.
So what you're saying is if someone wants to get on the podcast, they should be more active in Discord and talking to you guys.
Yeah, and just like there's like if they've never once tagged us in a story or commented in the Discord like after the episode comes out, then I don't know that you even listened to the episode. And that's what's funny. But then like what shocks me is like last week, like this is a I'm assuming you brought this up just based off of Captain Ron last week, but like Ron he's literally listened to every damn episode minus a handful. I think he knows that he knew. Like that was like one of the first times I've been shocked that like me more, us better than like I think you would, and I don't know shit about you. So like that was cool to get to know him. Out of the 100 people that we want to interview in the next couple of years, like are there more like that? I don't know. If you're listening to this and you haven't reached out to me and we don't have something set up, like let me know. Like I got a bunch of people's names on a list that like I know don't listen to the podcast, but they are crew, but like maybe they know who we are, but they don't really listen. So like I'm gonna keep favoring people that listen. So if you're hearing this, reach out. We'll get you on.
Also, Tanner helps sometimes.
Yeah, he's given us a handful of really clutch suggestions. So.
Yeah, he'll just be like, hey, if you don't have anybody like
Mm-hmm.
This person is like a lurker. They don't talk a lot. Get them on,
Mm-hmm.
get them more engaged, which is dope. Like that's how we got Megan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was one other one he
Is she
sent
in the
us.
Discord now? I feel like
She's
I still haven't seen her like at
Yes.
all.
She's there, but she doesn't, obviously, for obvious reasons, isn't too active.
Yep.
yeah, but we got her doing a lot more.
Yeah.
What was I gonna? I had
Cool.
one train of thought there. What the hell was it? What were we just? Oh,
And the other one is Tanner sometimes feeds me people that are crew that aren't in the Discord,
yeah. There's some of those too.
right?
Oh,
So
Yep.
there's a couple of those that I'm reaching out to, and like I said,
Mhm.
sometimes my messages pay off, and sometimes they don't, right?
Mhm.
Because like if they're not following me, they're not going to see my message at all.
Yeah.
But then I got to poke at Tanner and be like, hey, remind this person that like
Yeah.
they should be on Unpaid and Underrated, and yeah, a lot of
Buying-
those ones will hide until they're launched.
Buying a shirt helps. Tanner will periodically send me like if there's a new person that we're not familiar with that bought the shirt. Like that's how Captain Ron got on the radar. Honestly, I believe like which kind of looking back on it now makes more sense because I'm like this was like 6 months or to a year within the last 6 months he was like he sent me he was like yeah this guy bought a shirt and I'm like who the fuck is this and I was like I don't know who the fuck I have no fucking clue who this is. I don't even think we followed each other. I think he followed our Instagram, but I don't think any personal following. So yeah, that was a very I don't know. I would hope that there's a couple more people out there like that because if not, like if I don't have an audience, like that would suck. I hope we have an audience of people that like this, and you know if you're listening and you are shy, like I mean Discord's awesome. Like it's fun. Like most it's so overwhelming though, and especially like I feel overwhelmed now because there's so many new names and faces that like. I'm like, I kind of remember you because you've been talking for the past couple months, but like, I don't know your story. So it's like, I don't know to joke around with you. Whereas like, you know, the original like 100+ of us, it's like, okay, I know what you can say and what you can't say and whose balls you can bust kind of thing. But there's so many new people that
Yep.
it's literally a full-time job. And
It would be so much
that's a
easier if there were
lot.
no bots.
We know you hate the bots,
I
Joey.
never see the bots though.
Everybody hates the bots.
I only unblock or only like view the bot if it's like a date that I want to know, like how many days until this or what the weather is or something.
Yeah, but it's so
90% of the
I
time,
can't even say the word drink. I can't say the word plates. Like it's so annoying.
I just don't see them. I have everything blocked, so I don't
Yep.
know. But it is annoying.
I assume most of us do, and then what's the point of them?
That
All right, what else you got? I think we got
let's
two
see.
more. Let's go two more.
Yeah, I'll do an individual one for both of you.
works.
Joey,
Yep,
round or flat brush for the beard when you're
flat.
doing it like flat the whole thing? Yeah.
What's a round brush? Oh,
Yeah, I'm confused.
oh no. Okay.
I have a round one and I like kind of roll it down
Yep.
while I'm like blow drying it. And I feel like it lays way better that way than with just a flat one and like brushing it.
Okay, so I don't think I've ever blow dry.
Who are you, Big Keith, over there with your talking?
Yeah, I've never done that to my beard on purpose. But I would say that I have two brushes. I have one that I keep in the car that is round, and one that I keep in the house that is oval. I got rid of the flat one, but I think it's just because it started to fall apart.
Oval is more round than straight.
Yeah,
It would have
I
to be
would
round.
say. But most of the time, I use it for oil dispersion. Right, so I put the oil in, rub it on the skin, and then I brush. But I don't think I've ever blow dried my beard on purpose. But it's also just because I don't have a blow dryer and I can't be damned. My shower routine, I swear to God, is 4 minutes. I can get in the shower, wash, rinse, get out, put toner on, put face cream on, put beard oil on in 4 minutes. Toner, my wife made me start using because I'm old. So she had me started using toner to kind of offset the glare on my skin.
Gotcha. I like showers too long. I like showers too much for a 4-minute shower.
Oh God, I
can do a 4-minute shower if I have to, but like I also take like 3 to 4 showers a day just because I wake up with a shower. I take a shower when I get home from work, and then I might take a shower after I work out because I'm not working out with earlier.
Okay, yeah.
I go into disgusting homes all day. I'm not working out with that smell on me. Period.
So, I have one shower a day, and it's either if I'm working, I get up, shower, go to work, or I get
Yeah.
up, workout, shower, go to work. I don't have that many showers a day, but I have
Also
so
don't have to
much,
share a bathroom with
so
like
many, and
just one other person, not like four, so it's easier.
yeah, I also have 4 other people in the house.
Yeah,
So
I don't. I have that luxury of not having that.
my showers will go longer if I'm like trimming, manscaping, shall we say, and like washing my beard and shaving my head. Like those will go longer, but like on a normal day, I'm up showered. I honestly could be up showered and out the door in less than 15 minutes in most days. So I ain't got time to blow dry my beard.
That's fair. I'm impressed how like evenly it lays without you doing that. Mine just like sticks out like a
Well, that's also the
like a
just the
tree.
weight of the length, right? Like
Yeah, I try and keep the sides trimmed, but like even still, it like they just like fly away, kind of.
Yeah, I'm like with you, Dan. I've got the when it's not shaved like this, it's like no matter what, the sides seem like they grow longer than the fucking middle, and then it's
yeah,
just
and
like
that's why I get them
this.
trimmed. I also want,
And then when I trim it, it looks stupid because then it's like I can't. I don't have a good. I'm not paying $50 to get a beard trim. I should, but because I end up just taking it off.
50.
I don't know what the hell you pay.
My bartender is 10.
Your bartender?
You pay your bartender to shave your
Bartender,
beard.
my barber is $10 to
I don't
trim
know
my
anyone
beard.
that would do that.
And honestly, like I get like, yeah, she's just great. I would probably take this down if I could, but then I would have a too short of a beard, and I don't want that yet.
$10 is a very fair price for a
Yeah, I
beard
don't-
trim, especially if it's good. Yeah, that's
She's
It's
the
usually
best.
like a $20 add-on, and that's like
Yeah,
it's like a
like at
$30
least
haircut with a
$20,
$20
yeah.
add-on.
I don't get haircuts. I don't have hair.
Yeah, but yeah.
fair enough. All right, so flat brush noted. Um, uh, Keith, I'll do one quick one and then one like actual one. I had a fan submitted question for you, Keith.
Whoa.
I was supposed to ask, how's that bump on your upper back doing?
I've just been ignoring it. I don't want to think about it. It's I I'm so I'm switching primaries soon because I've had a very bad experience with my last primary. Just I'm tired of his like some of his clerical practices and like how I can never get a referral from him, and now when I'm like, hey, I need a referral, and it takes like a month to get a referral because he doesn't want to do the fucking paperwork. So like I'm just over that. So but it was like a year and a half ago, I think I did go and see a specialist for it, and they were like, we think it's this. It's probably nothing we can do about it. You know, if nothing changes in like a few months, you could get an MRI, or you could just, you know, and I was like, that was like 18 months ago, and I have not gotten an MRI. So, but it has not moved. As long as I don't put anything on it, it's fine. Like one of our mutual friends, Dean. Have you seen the one on Dean's back? If you've never met Dean or have seen it, well, look at it this weekend. He's
I don't think I have.
so he's the big super heavy.
Yeah, I know Dean.
He's his like I can't make a fist big enough to replicate the size of the one on his back.
Oh.
Yeah, and he says it like causes him severe pain like constantly, I think. So like because he also like doesn't work, like I work around mine. Like I will never high bar squat again the rest of my life unless as if this is here. So it's only low bar or SSB. So but I mean outside of the one time it got really inflamed because it kind of popped up, and then I high barred with like a very gnarly bar, and it just kind of dug into it and like made it irritated. Outside of that like incident, I forget it's there sometimes, and like I catch it in the mirror. I'm like, what the fuck is that? I'm like, oh yeah, but like zero pain. Like I could sit there and like I'm touching it right now, and it's fine. It's just I got a lump, but like right below my the neckline of my shirt. But yeah, I'm alive. I don't know. I gotta worry about my other shit first. But someday I should get the MRI. But I've talked to Brandon Diamond Candle. He said he has one too, and like so.
Where's he from?
Basement Brandon Diamond Candle.
Okay, so he's not from Rochester as well?
No. Are you being funny?
No, I don't know where he's from.
He's in Rhode Island, I think.
Yeah, Basement Brandon. Like he's
all right,
the big YouTube guy.
So the neck lump is not just a New York thing.
Oh, because Dean has one also. Yeah. See, I thought you were trying to be funny, but then you were so fucking like your face was so static. I was just like, is he being serious?
No,
that was good. No,
yeah.
But yeah, Dean's is scary, and mine is not scary, but it's probably something.
Just don't get it wet after midnight.
Mm-hmm.
Well, fan that submitted that question, there's your answer.
Yeah.
And then the one that I wanted to ask you is I know you're a big spreadsheet guy and you keep track of all the little PRs,
Absolutely.
which I think is cool. Do you have a favorite PR that you've hit since starting Strongman?
Oh, the 425 axle from the floor was huge. I think I've done it. That's got to be up there. If and when I hit the 300-pound stone, that'll be it. Because I
Mm-hmm.
think I've missed that a couple times, but I've got the whatever they have. I think Tim has a 265 or 275. Um, I mean, the first time I picked up, I don't know, like, no, well, yeah, I think I've eclipsed 200 on both log and axle, so like those were both awesome. I kind of view
I feel
those
like
like,
I remember the video of the 200
yeah,
log.
yeah. I feel like I think I have to check. I think maybe I might actually still be stuck at 195 on axle. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure I hit 200 on both, but like I don't know. But I think at least in the last, the 425 axle because I didn't think I would get it. Whereas the other stuff, I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of the other ones, I'm like, God damn it, why can't I do this?
Mm-hmm.
And then
Well,
like,
you hit that in a medley too. It wasn't
yeah,
just like a standalone
yeah.
lift.
But it killed me though because all I had to do was like just pick up 405 off the floor with like a regular bar to like continue the reps on like the last one, and I was just like, I got it to my knees and was just like my back was just so locked up at that point that like I couldn't stand up with 405
Mm-hmm.
after just previously picking up 425 with an axle. But I think the 425 axle, honestly, like
Yeah.
as because like I don't know where because like that's only like 30 pounds off like my best PR on like a deadlift bar. So like that one gave me more like confidence that like fuck maybe I will pull 500 someday. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
pulling 450 on a stiff bar the other day for a PR was pretty damn cool too. For like I'm
Yeah.
still I had to like kind of rein in strongman and actually focus on this powerlifting prep and I literally I've pretty much I've hit my heavy bench, I've hit my heavy squat, deadlift. I might squat heavy one more time just depending on how I'm feeling. Typically I do like my last heavy squat like in the next couple of days and then I take like a week off. So we'll see how that goes. But I also
Mm-hmm.
still haven't bought my USAPL membership. So if I have any setbacks in the next 6 days, I'm just not going to compete and not buy my membership and save that $60.
Yeah.
But
Put it
Cool.
towards your new laptop.
I've been looking. This knock on wood, this it's we've had no issues tonight. Hopefully.
Cool. I think those are all my questions for you guys.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate you coming prepared. It sounds like you reached out to some people and got some good answers for us or some good questions. So
Well,
I
thank you
finally
for having me.
uh I always appreciate when people actually. I think it's funny when people, or I think it's cool when people reach out. Like I was the Big Jen episode of the reviewing where she actually reached out to Stephanie, and I forgot that happened, and I think I talked to Stephanie about it yesterday. So we had a little
Mm-hmm.
funny conversations about that. But yeah, I enjoy when people actually put some effort into it. It makes us feel, it makes us feel like we're actually, people actually listen and want to be more interactive and not just get interviewed. So I always appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I think you guys are doing a cool thing. I think it's awesome that you guys care enough about the community people to get to know them more and get people more involved that are kind of on the outskirts of it. It's good. People need community, you know.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And we open it up to you and everybody else in the crew to send us that 200 episode suggestions of what you want us to ignore you saying that we should do.
And
All
not
right.
200 episode, 2 year episode.
Yeah, that too.
Mm-hmm.
That would. Yeah, well, I mean, they can suggest both because like the 200 episodes, it's gonna be 2 more years till we hit that 200. God damn,
Mm-hmm.
that would be a wild. I don't know. Like they always talk about like so on this week's episode, the sister podcast, they were talking. Oh, the one that you guys haven't heard yet, but like it's relevant to this. They always say it of like, man, can you even imagine us doing this podcast in another like 5 years? And then I'm
Mm-hmm.
like you've been doing it for so long, but like, cause I think they brought the number up as like another, cause it was nine, which it was either 9 or 10, whatever, but they basically doubled that. And it's like, could you imagine still doing this 9 more years from now? And they were both like, no, like they can't. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe it was 10 years and I am wrong, but
I,
no,
I think
it was
I think the
nine.
bigger question is, can you imagine not?
Yeah. And
And I
like,
think you should look at that. And if that
mhm,
starts to become appealing, then you have to question what you're doing,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
right? Keith, where do they find you?
Keith Honeycutt 73. Go follow me on Shim, the No Wine Cellar.
You find me at Joey_Malesko, MLECZKO. Dan, I think that means you have to spell your Instagram.
Yeah, sure. It's Dan Eager, So DAN_EAGER. And if you're interested in competing in a strongman competition in Central New York, you can follow Salt City's Strongest on
There we
Instagram.
go. The only reason I said you have to spell it is because we both have the underscore in between our names.
Yeah.
I caught that earlier and was like, that'd be really funny if he did that. Oh yeah, all of our affiliates.
Yep,
Oh
I was
my
gonna.
gosh,
Yep.
yeah, you hit that. I messed that up last time.
Obsidian, it's all good. Obsidian, Barbell Rescue, Plate Snacks, Home Gym Con, Belt Fed Strength, Freedom Fitness Equipment, and apparel from the Strength Co. Use code UNPAID and save you a little bit of money at all those locations. And gentlemen and ladies, we'll see you next Tuesday. We had to talk about something. I don't know. We talked for 2.5 hours or something in there.
Yeah, absolutely. No,
Somebody's gonna find something they like.
and there was definitely some good strongman talk, and I learned some stuff. We all learned some stuff, but really, we all made friends along the way.
But at the end of the day, all we know is that you swim naked in the pool. So like,
Yeah, you know me. I mean, isn't that how everyone swims?
It's the best way to swim.
That's how we started out swimming at prior to birth. But I think we've all evolved a little bit since then.
I go barefoot and I go skinny dipping. It's what I do. Hong Kong.